Chapter 1924. Yi Chen lifted his head to look as the dimensional door slowly opened. From the spatial door, Yi Chen sensed a powerful, special energy. It was not psionic power or Pandora demon power, but a very holy energy. It might be the divine power that he had detected a long time ago. Will the secret that I couldn't solve before be solved here? This was something Yi Chen did not expect. Back then, he had better resources and conditions than now, but he could not solve the secret. Now, the truth seemed to be right before him. It was a strange feeling. Yi Chen did not act blindly. Instead, he set up a powerful formation around him to protect the barrier before him. Logically speaking, Li Xiong, Yuqi Fengyun, and the rest had been killed, so there should be no one here. However, Yi Chen had always been cautious. Moreover, there was the impact of the immortal and demonic power. If there was an energy imbalance, he might not even be able to return to the modern realm. Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit. Yi Chen pointed his sword at the sky. Immediately, the silhouette of the Heavenly Emperor appeared behind Yi Chen. After that, the Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit rose into the sky and covered the entire 8 doors space. Buzz buzz buzz. Seeing that the Heavenly Emperor sword formation was completed, Yi Chen's eyes locked onto the spatial door. After many tests, he discovered that the spatial door's deconstruction was very sturdy. If that's the case, let me see what's in this space. Yi Chen was determined. He turned into a ray of light and flew into the spatial door. Rumble! After entering the spatial door, what greeted Yi Chen was not some mythical immortal realm. Instead, it was endless thunder and lightning that shook the space. However, Yi Chen was already prepared for any situation. This was nothing to him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Yi Chen sped, dodging thunder and lightning many times, and arrived above the clouds. The environment here was much better. The thunder and lightning all happened under the clouds, and there were rays of sunlight here. Yi Chen walked on the cloud path and suddenly saw a towering ancient tree ahead. He looked at the ancient tree and found that there seemed to be someone on it. Such a strange scene surprised Yi Chen. He slowly walked toward the ancient tree. "You're here!" At that moment, a voice rang out, making Yi Chen stop. The pleasant sound of a tuning fork echoed in his ears. Then, a rainbow flew up, and the surrounding space fell into a riot of colors. Yi Chen did not care about the scene before him changing. Instead, he looked at the figure on the ancient tree. "Who is here? What is this place?" Yi Chen's sonorous voice echoed throughout the place. He was sure that the person could hear him. "This is a divine power barrier. The fact that you are able to enter means that you are a fated person." Fated person? I don't like this answer. Profound Sky Holy Emperor, whether you like it or not, since you've come here, you're destined to gain something. Yi Chen frowned when he heard that name. The mysterious Heaven Holy Emperor was one of the titles of the Celestial Emperors. It contained the Celestial Emperor's understanding of the heavenly Tao. He didn't expect this person to know about it. "Who are you? How do you know the name of the profound Heaven Divine Emperor? How can a mortal understand the matter of divine power?" Ha ha ha, deliberately mystifying things won't make you look superior. Facing the mysterious man, Yi Chen had no scruples at all. This was heaven's dignity. Extraordinary people are destined to encounter extraordinary things. The road back is long and full of obstacles. You still haven't answered my question. Who are you? I'm just a lost person who came here. Perhaps we're here to answer each other's questions. As he spoke, the person raised his hand and a divine sigil floated in the air. Divine sigil. Yi Chen retreated quickly. He knew very well that the power of the divine sigil was not to be underestimated. It seemed to be harmless, but in reality, it was extremely destructive. It was very likely that he would unknowingly fall into the other person's trap. Naturally, Yi Chen didn't trust the person before him. "What do you think of seeing such a divine sigil? Are you from the divine realm?" "I'm no longer one." You're no longer one? Does that mean you were in the past? Why ask so many things from the past? Deliberately mystifying things to make me hesitate so that I can't make the right judgment. Is this your plan? Since you know the name of the profound sky holy emperor, you must be someone I've met. Oh. Hearing this, the person smiled slightly as if he was interested in Yi Chen's judgment. Then who am I? Just as you said, I don't need to know your identity. Since you said that I'm fated, then what I want is simple. The power of the divine sigil. Ah. Hearing this, the person laughed a few times. No problem, I'll tell you all the power of the divine sigil. This is a paradise of divine sigil. Only the most talented have the right to succeed. The person stretched out his hand and pointed at the sky. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Instantly, countless divine sigil floated out and surrounded Yi Chen. What does this mean? Only by unlocking these divine sigil will you have a chance to explore further. Sensing the power of the divine sigil around him, Yi Chen knew that he was still trapped in the other person's divine sigil formation. If he did not break the formation in front of him now, it would be impossible for him to leave. If this is a test for me, I'll accept. Yi Chen had long been interested in divine inscriptions, and he also had the experience of studying them. If he could obtain more divine inscriptions from this divine power barrier or even obtain some clues to unlock the 8 gates heavenly disk, this trip would not have been in vain. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Countless divine sigils surrounded Yi Chen like Buddha's shackles. It was very magical. Yi Chen condensed his sword energy and pointed at the divine sigil. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In an instant, the sword energy disappeared and the divine sigil did not move. What a powerful force! Since psionic energy is useless against you, let's try demonic energy. Demonic sigil bloomed all over Yi Chen's body. Demonic energy soared into the sky and turned into a sharp demonic energy sword, descending toward the divine sigil. Clang! The sword pointed at the light of the divine sigil, trying to break the divine sigil. However, the divine sigil was indestructible, rendering the demonic energy sword ineffective. It's so easy to forcefully break the formation. Dark Sky Holy Emperor, aren't you underestimating the way of divine sigil? Are you mocking me? I wouldn't dare, but if you want to get out of here, your effort is still far from enough. The person looked unhappy as if he was disappointed by Yi Chen's speed of breaking the formation. However, Yi Chen was a powerful person. He could tell at a glance that the person was not really concerned about his speed of breaking the formation but something else. Seeing that it was meaningless to forcefully break the formation, Yi Chen sat cross-legged in the void and began to meditate. The divine sigil continued to emit golden light, trapping Yi Chen. It was difficult for him to even move. Therefore, it was not a bad idea to stop him by remaining still. Previously, the person had said that only the most talented could get out of here. Perhaps the real way to break the divine sigil was to comprehend it. Chapter 1925. Sitting cross-legged in the divine pattern formation, Yi Chen entered a state of enlightenment. This was a long process. Yi Chen gradually lost the concept of time, but he found it difficult to enter the divine pattern world. Why does the divine pattern force reject my enlightenment? Yi Chen gradually discovered this problem, and this was the key to everything. Once he could not immerse himself in the divine pattern world, it was equivalent to being in 2 worlds without communication. It was almost impossible to understand such a complicated and high-level divine pattern barrier. The mysterious man sat on the lotus platform and looked at Yi Chen. How many surprises can you give me? This is your chance, isn't it also my chance? The mysterious man seemed to have high expectations for Yi Chen, but his melancholy face seemed to say that he had experienced countless failures, and the person in front of him was only one of them. The two entered a state of meditation at the same time, and the mysterious man entered enlightenment. In Yi Chen's state of consciousness, everything was so confused and chaotic. It was as if he had entered a void universe and could not find any light. The seemingly bright starlight was so far away. I'm a heavenly emperor. How can such a problem trap me? Yi Chen's eyes emitted starlight as if he could see through everything. Ah! To understand the divine pattern barrier, one had to break through the limits of thinking. Ordinary methods were impossible. In that case, let me enter the same state as you. Yi Chen relied on the ancient god power and released the heavenly emperor's secret technique. He turned his primordial spirit into an energy form and entered the divine pattern formation. Rumble! Within the divine pattern barrier, countless powerful thunderbolts exploded and tore. All kinds of unimaginable horror were going on. Yi Chen entered and instantly entered a dangerous situation. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The divine pattern world sensed Yi Chen's invasion and instantly triggered the divine pattern thunder to bombard Yi Chen. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Yi Chen's figure instantly disappeared and appeared somewhere else. The original place was completely shattered. Entering the divine pattern world, Yi Chen activated the golden pupil flame and observed everything around him. All kinds of information entered his mind, and at the same time, he activated the thought space to analyze. In the world of divine inscriptions, this information was much clearer and easier to understand. In addition to Yi Chen's heavenly emperor stage comprehension ability, all sorts of divine veins continuously entered his mind, evolving and recombining. Very soon, not only did he comprehend many of the profound divine veins, but he could even use his own strength to recombine these divine veins into a new method of operation. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In the void, the divine lightning struck again. Ha, come on then. With a wave of Yi Chen's hand, the divine veins were released. A gale raged and the world changed. Boom. Under the powerful counterattack of the divine glyph hurricane, the divine lightning dissipated, unable to harm Yi Chen at all. I see. Yi Chen smiled and stood up, standing in the divine inscription world. He was no longer restricted, and had instead become the ruler of this world. With a wave of his hand, countless divine runes started to gather towards his body. They were all absorbed and refined by him. ZZZ. The celestial Dharch sword spirit appeared in his hand. After that, divine patterns were attached to it. With the enhancement of divine power, the celestial Dharch sword broke through its limits and evolved again. Celestial Dharch sword, heaven and earth slash. With one slash, the entire divine inscription formation shattered in the air. The mysterious man opened his eyes and looked in Yi Chen's direction in disbelief. How is this possible? Back then, it took me a whole month to break this divine inscription formation. How did he do it in less than 2 hours? His eyes widened as he watched Yi Chen get up. How is it? Your divine inscription formation doesn't seem to be much. Hearing that, the mysterious man looked angry, but he did not flare up. His goal was not to become Yi Chen's enemy. In fact, it was a good thing for him that Yi Chen could break this divine inscription formation so quickly. Haha, very good, very good. Oh! Yi Chen did not understand what was going on with the person in front of him, but he was happy that his formation had been broken. However, this is just the beginning. What do you mean? Looking at the mysterious man's strange smile, Yi Chen felt that the situation might not be as good as he had imagined. It might even be worse. What I mean is, continue. The mysterious man's eyes turned cold. Suddenly, a Tier 2 divine inscription formation was activated around Yi Chen. Hiss hiss hiss. Yi Chen wanted to retreat from the formation, but he could not do it. The divine inscription covered too quickly, and it was formed by the convergence of super strong divine power. It was almost impossible to break through it by relying on spiritual power or demonic ability. In the face of such a complicated situation, Yi Chen's thinking was also speeding up. He immediately thought of using the divine inscription sword technique to slash through the predicament before him. However, he had miscalculated because the other party was using the power of the Tier 2 divine inscription. He was only using the Tier 1 divine inscription, so he could not resist it. Hiss hiss hiss. Soon, Yi Chen was once again trapped in the formation. Ah! In the outside world, the mysterious man laughed loudly as if he was applauding and cheering for his divine inscription formation. Once again trapped in the divine inscription formation, Yi Chen used the same trick. His primordial spirit turned into a body of energy and entered the divine inscription world. This time, in the Tier 2 divine inscription world, golden light flashed, dazzling and holy. Here, Yi Chen felt as if he had entered a golden castle. Everything here was made of gold. This was a world of gold. Yi Chen condensed his sword finger and added the power of the divine inscription to it. He pointed at the high wall. Hiss! The sword energy rushed out and pierced the high wall. Hiss hiss hiss! However, the sword energy did not react at all. It directly sank into the wall, as if it was absorbed by the wall. Yi Chen understood that the world before him was completely different from before. It was more complicated and more difficult. The divine inscription casts everything. This is the law of creation. Yi Chen, can you understand the true meaning of it? The mysterious man's golden mask appeared on the high wall, revealing a mocking smile. Don't be so smug. These are not worth mentioning in my eyes. Anyone can boast. What I need is results. This is a test for you. You have no choice. Ha, I don't want to see your face. Yi Chen sneered. The heavenly Dharch sword spirit appeared again and slashed out. With the support of the powerful ancient god power, the golden mask on the high wall was shattered on the spot. In the outside world, the mysterious man's spirit was shocked by the ancient god power and revealed a shocked expression. How is this possible? His sword energy can hurt my spirit. The mysterious man began to reconsider Yi Chen. In the golden world, this sword made Yi Chen realize that even in the face of the divine inscription world, the ancient god power was still effective. Chapter 1926. This time around, the world of divine inscriptions was 100 times more complicated than the previous one, and its attack power had also increased. So, all of this was your scheme? What exactly do you want to do? What is the purpose of testing me like this? In the face of the mysterious man's continuous tests, Yi Chen fell into deep thought. Transforming into an energy form, he used a first-level divine imprint to disguise himself, allowing himself to enter a state of equilibrium. Only by fusing with this world would he be able to avoid being attacked. He's trying to test me so actively. There must be something fishy behind this. Yi Chen was certain that the mysterious person in front of him had some kind of mission. Perhaps it was to test the people who entered the divine inscription barrier. If what the mysterious man said was true, that the test was endless and this was just the beginning, then things would be troublesome. When Yi Chen entered the divine inscription barrier, the 8 gates' divine discs were still spinning outside. If something unexpected happened, would he never be able to leave this world? Various dangers appeared before Yi Chen. Even someone as arrogant as him had to deal with them cautiously. What's the point of thinking about it? I might as well break the formation directly. Yi Chen's eyes widened as he channeled ancient god power in his hands. Zzz. At the same time, the first-level divine inscriptions revolved, strengthening the might of the ancient god energy. Soon, Yi Chen realized that the divine veins had enhanced the ancient god power far more than ordinary psionic power. This meant that there must be a close connection between the divine veins and the ancient god power. Heavenly Dharch sword. Yi Chen pointed his sword at the sky. The heavenly emperor's sword spirit reappeared with sword chi surrounding him. Ah! At the same time, with a loud shout, the shadow of an incomparably tall ancient god appeared behind him. Return. Yi Chun absorbed the power of the divine veins around him and entered the ancient god space. Surrounded by the ancient god power, these divine veins were restricted and could not cause any harm. This was a good opportunity for Yi Chun to study them. Based on his previous experience in cultivating the ancient god power, Yi Chun had a new understanding of these divine patterns. In the outside world, the mysterious man continued to observe Yi Chun's progress. He was the one who created the divine pattern trapping formation. Naturally, he could control Yi Chun's state in it. His primordial spirit actually entered the formation. Interesting. He kept pacing on the ground. He hoped that Yi Chun would break the formation as soon as possible because he wanted to release all the tests as soon as possible. Only then would he have a chance of leaving this place. This world is too irritating. I've been trapped here for too long. During this long period of time, the mysterious man unceasingly comprehended the power of divine inscriptions, raising his own strength. Although his strength had clearly increased, and his comprehension of divine inscriptions had also improved, it was impossible for him to comprehend any new divine inscriptions within 100 years. Third-level divine inscriptions was his limit. Do you really promise me that as long as he can break through the third-ranked divine inscriptions grand formation, you will let me leave? Suddenly, the mysterious man shouted at the towering ancient tree in the distance. Gu Mu did not reply. This made the mysterious man even angrier. You aren't lying to me, are you? He ran in front of Gu Mu and looked at him coldly. Zzz. Suddenly, golden divine patterns appeared in front of the ancient tree. As long as he breaks the rank 3 formation, you can leave. Ha ha ha! The mysterious man suddenly laughed uproariously. Finally, he had obtained his answer. As long as Yi Chun broke the third-ranked divine inscription formation, he would be free. Good, very good. He flew into the 9 heavens, laughing loudly to celebrate his day of freedom. Something's wrong. Suddenly, a thought flashed through his mind. Although this person is extremely talented, I only succeeded in breaking this third-ranked divine inscription formation after comprehending it for 100 years. How can he succeed today? Thinking of this, he finally understood how naive he was. Yi Chun could not possibly comprehend the third-ranked divine inscription formation in a day. This was absolutely impossible. He suddenly turned to look at Gu Mu and said angrily, "You're playing with me. You know that he can't possibly comprehend the third-ranked divine inscription formation in such a short period of time. In fact, he might not even be able to comprehend it in his lifetime. You want to kill him and trap me here, right?" Faced with such complaints, Gu Mu did not respond. Instead, a cold breeze blew past, piercing his bones. How hateful! The mysterious man flew down from the 9 heavens and punched the ground. Rumble! Dust flew everywhere and the mountain rocks cracked. The violent force was unstoppable. His strong foundation was undoubtedly revealed. However, in this world of divine inscriptions, he was as weak as an ant. I'm already a great perfection tribulation cultivator. Why am I still trapped here? The mysterious man asked angrily. Then, he continuously unleashed his divine abilities, aiming at the sky, trying to break out. However, everything was fake. It was impossible. He could only look at the divine inscription formation helplessly. His only hope was still Yi Chun. Dark Sky Holy Emperor, it's all up to you now. You were a celestial emperor in the past. This information was all told by Gu Mu. However, to the mysterious man, this was all a trick played by Gu Mu. If this person was really a celestial emperor, why would he be trapped here? This painful thought almost caused the mysterious man to break down. Rumble! At this moment, suddenly, the ground shook and the space shattered. Yi Chun flew out. No, this is impossible. Seeing that the second-ranked divine inscription formation that he had worked so hard to comprehend had been broken so easily, the mysterious man shook his head. Yi Chen's speed was too exaggerated. Was this the difference brought about by talent? The formation has been broken. Now tell me how to leave. Yi Chen looked at the mysterious man coldly. Ah? Ah. Faced with Yi Chen's question, the mysterious man laughed a few times and did not care at all. It's still too early to leave. Unless you break my ultimate divine inscription formation, I might help you. Where is your ultimate divine inscription formation? Humph, you should learn to respect me first. Yi Chen did not want to waste time at all, but the person before him was wasting his time. If you help me leave, I'll consider it. Consider? You think too highly of yourself. D*MN. The mysterious man's mental state had long since changed due to his vexed emotions. Seeing how arrogant Yi Chen was and how he had even broken through the divine inscription grand formation that he had spent decades to comprehend, the mysterious man's pride had been severely hurt. He wanted revenge. Kill! The mysterious man shouted. A divine weapon in the shape of a spear appeared in his hand. He went straight for Yi Chen. Yi Chen smiled coldly. His figure flashed and he attacked first. Clang! The divine weapons from both sides clashed, causing countless sparks to fly. Ha, kid, if you really are the Dark Sky Holy Emperor, let me see your true abilities. Hearing this, Yi Chen realized that the person in front of him did not know his identity at all. He might have heard about it through other means. Even he did not believe this fact. Chapter 1927. Kill! The mysterious man's eyes were filled with killing intent. He spat out a divine rune, and instantly, the surrounding space fell into an illusory state. Faced with such a mysterious divine pattern, Yi Chen stood alone on the spot. So. The mysterious person's figure was illusory. Every time he moved, his tracks would be concealed by the divine rune barrier, allowing him to walk in the alternate space. Yi Chen, since you can't satisfy me, then die. Satisfied? I don't need to satisfy you. If you want to die, I'll help you. A mere conjoint body cultivator dares to boast so shamelessly? Damn it! The mysterious man suddenly appeared and attacked Yi Chen from behind. Whoosh! The cold blade carried the power to kill, wanting to kill in one strike. Clang! However, just when the cold blade was about to pierce Yi Chen's body, Yi Chen's right arm suddenly appeared behind him. Subsequently, he pointed with his sword. With a clanging sound, the powerful sword chi bounced off the mysterious man's attack. What? The mysterious man's heart trembled, and he took dozens of steps back. Damn it! His anger surged, and his attacks became even fiercer. Kill, kill, kill! At the three shouts, three shadows appeared at the same time and attacked Yi Chen. Insignificant skill. Yi Chen's eyes were glowing as the true samadhi fire surrounded him. At that moment, the two phantoms were burned by the true samadhi fire. They were revealed on the spot and turned into dust. Just when the mysterious man was shocked, Yi Chen's sword chi had arrived. Chi. The sword chi brushed past the mysterious man's cheek, and a bloodstain appeared. Damn it! He did not expect to be forced to such an extent by a mere body integration cultivator. The mysterious man was furious. Immediately, the divine patterns on his body shone brightly and attacked Yi Chen continuously. Zzz. The speed at which the divine inscriptions formed the formation was so fast that it caused the spectators to be stunned. This was the result of the hundreds of years of cultivation the mysterious figure had spent here. Divine inscriptions were formations, formations were divine inscriptions. Yi Chen activated his golden pupil fiery eyes and sent all sorts of information about the divine veins into his ancient god space for analysis. Zzz. Various analysis results appeared. Combined with the divine veins that Yi Chen had previously comprehended, Yi Chen soon found the mysterious man's habit of using the divine veins. Break. The tip of his sword finger struck the vitals. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The divine inscription grand array instantly shattered, causing the mysterious man to be shocked once again. Impossible! How could he have such talent? Just by looking at a few divine inscriptions, he already knew how to use my divine inscriptions. What's going on? Yi Chen's talent shocked the mysterious man once again. He was even more worried because Gu Mu's attitude toward him was changing. If he could not kill Yi Chen, the consequences would be unpredictable. Since that's the case, I won't hold back. Suddenly, the mysterious man sneered. Then, he performed various hand seals with his hands. The power was 100 times stronger than before. Seeing this scene, Yi Chen understood that this person had even more profound divine inscriptions that he had yet to use. Previously, the divine inscriptions he had used on himself were either level 1 or level 2 divine inscriptions. The divine inscriptions that appeared in front of him could very well be a level 3 divine inscription. I'll let you witness the ultimate might of a 3rd level divine inscription. Ha, so what if it's a 3rd-ranked divine inscription? In front of this emperor, you better bow your head. Yi Chen soared through the 9 heavens, his entire body glowing with the light of the divine inscriptions. The various divine inscriptions he had comprehended and deciphered appeared at the same time. The complexity of the divine inscriptions was actually not any lower than the 3rd-level divine inscriptions designed by the mysterious figure. Impossible, it's impossible for you to comprehend 3rd-level divine inscriptions. Who said that I comprehended 3rd-level divine inscriptions? Then what's this? This is just a variation of the level 1 and level 2 divine inscriptions that I've learned before. Although it's not a pure 3rd-level divine inscription, it's enough to deal with these crudely crafted 3rd-level divine inscriptions of yours. Crudely crafted? Hearing this, the mysterious man went crazy. He had been comprehending the divine inscriptions here for hundreds of years. Countless people had come to challenge the divine power barrier, but they had all been killed by him. Now, the person in front of him said that his divine inscriptions were crudely crafted. How ironic! Die. The mysterious man released the 3rd-level ultimate divine inscription. The surrounding space was completely immersed in his world. In my world, Yi Chen, you must die. Your world? Ah! Yi Chen laughed domineeringly. The mysterious man did not know what he was talking about. Golden pupil flame. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the golden flames shone on the divine inscription formation, all sorts of information entered the ancient god dimension and was analyzed by Yi Chen's mind. The 3rd-level divine inscriptions that were incomparably complicated and undecipherable were now being analyzed continuously in Yi Chen's mind. It was clear that the analysis and calculation abilities of the two were worlds apart. No. The mysterious man seemed to realize something. He attacked Yi Chen frantically, not wanting Yi Chen to decipher the 3rd-level divine inscriptions. This was because the 3rd-level divine inscriptions were the 3rd-level divine inscriptions that he had comprehended the 3rd-level divine inscription. If Yi Chen could destroy this, he would lose all meaning. After this incident with Yi Chen, the balance between him and Gu Mu had been broken. He already knew that all of this might be a scam. If Yi Chen succeeded, he might become a sacrifice. Just like the people he had killed before, it turned out that freedom was just an illusory desire. Everything was under the control of the divine tree. The ancient divine tree was the true ruler. Come and die. The mysterious man activated the 3rd-level divine inscription formation's full power and attacked Yi Chen. Ha, what a coincidence! Your most powerful divine inscription might have to change owners. What? As the mysterious man trembled, he saw Yi Chen using various seals to guide the divine inscription formation to start reversing. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The power of the divine inscription was gradually controlled by Yi Chen's more complicated and exquisite divine inscription rules. With Yi Chen's talent and the support of the ancient god space and the strange mind space, He was able to decipher the third-level divine inscription in the shortest time possible. Rumble. The divine inscription grand formation reversed, and within the original formation, a new one was born. This new formation was created by Yi Chen, and it obeyed his commands. Heavenly demon disintegration. Yi Chen's eyes emitted demonic light. The demonic inscriptions on his body devoured the power of the divine inscription. Yi Chen attacked violently. No. With a painful scream, the mysterious man was completely trapped in Yi Chen's divine demon disintegration formation. Kacha, kacha, kacha. All the bones in his body shattered, his muscles collapsed, and he was dismembered. After this terrifying scene, everything calmed down. The entire space fell into silence. However, Yi Chen knew that this person was just a puppet. The true ruler was still watching him. He walked toward the divine tree. Dark Sky Holy Emperor Yi Chen. The divine tree spoke, revealing Yi Chen's identity. How do you know who I am? Yi Chen asked. Ha ha ha, the divine power barrier is where the heavenly Tao is. It includes everything. Facing the omnipotent divine tree, the corner of Yi Chen's mouth curled up, full of interest. Submit to the divine tree and you will naturally get everything. I have another suggestion. If you submit to me, you will surely achieve supreme merit. Chapter 1928. Hearing Yi Chen's words, the divine wood froze. All things are the same under the divine wood. In the eyes of the heavenly emperor, everything is over. Yi Chen stared coldly at the divine wood. At this moment, a barrier formed around the divine wood and countless divine patterns floated out. Each divine pattern was so exquisite that the divine patterns created by the mysterious man could not compare to it. The one before Yi Chen was most likely a more advanced divine pattern. This is a level 4 divine pattern. Yi Chen, what do you think? Simple. Space fury appeared behind Yi Chen. Roar. The roar shook the space and countless divine patterns were sucked into Yi Chen's mouth like flowing water. Buzz buzz buzz. Following that, various information about the divine pattern was transmitted into the ancient god space and analyzed. With the ancient god power as the power source, Yi Chen's energy supply was not a problem. The speed of analysis could increase without limit. Buzz buzz buzz. All kinds of analysis began to evolve and change. Countless results were produced. Then, Yi Chen personally selected the best answer. Ordinary people would need hundreds of years to comprehend the complex structure, but in Yi Chen's ancient god space, it could be done in an instant. That was the difference. Yi Chen shouted coldly. He stretched out his hand and drew a few simple lines in the air. Buzz buzz buzz. These lines spun rapidly and became a divine pattern in the blink of an eye. You're really talented, far above that person. Divine Wood, stop bluffing. You're just a part of the Divine Wood. In my eyes, a level 4 divine pattern is your limit. You can trap him, but don't think you can trap me. The Divine Wood felt the greatest threat. Yi Chen had seen through it, so it could only attack first. As long as it could trap Yi Chen, its achievements would be limitless. Divine Wood Heaven Trapping Lock. Suddenly, the 4th level divine inscriptions started to materialize and bind Yi Chen's body. True Samadhi Fire. Yi Chen released the true Samadhi Fire, burning the surrounding space so that the level 4 divine pattern could not get close. Using these few seconds, Yi Chen analyzed the structure of the divine pattern before him. Heavenly Emperor's Sword. The Heavenly Emperor's Sword spirit was summoned. Divine lightning surrounded Yi Chen and flames flowed. The Heavenly Emperor's Sword unleashed its ultimate power. Emperor's Order, Raging Prairie Fire Cut. Hoo. True fire ablaze, heaven and earth flattened. Boom. In the blink of an eye, the 4th-ranked divine inscription seal shattered. Damn it. A face appeared on the trunk of the divine tree. It was the tree spirit. Yi Chen, give me your life. Lowly ant, Do you dare to fight against the heavens? Yi Chen was enraged as well. The heavenly emperor's shadow reappeared behind him. Its majestic might shocked the world. 8 gates divine plate, celestial emperor's sword might. He completely released his own power, supported by the origin energy of the 8 gates of heaven and earth, deciding the heavens and earth with one chop. Boom! Chi chi chi. Under the celestial Dharch sword, the divine tree collapsed, and the tree spirit appeared in midair. 8 inner hidden gates, receive. Yi Chen conjured the 8 gates divine disc silhouette and pointed at the tree spirit in the sky. No. The tree spirit's power originated from the 8 gates of judgment. The secret cave creator did not have the ability to open the god's disc, but Yi Chen did. Yi Chen kept the divine wood into the ancient god space, and the entire world collapsed. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chen returned to the secret cave. At this time, the 8 gates divine disc was still releasing its power. Receive. The god's disc was withdrawn. Everything was perfect. At this moment, without the protection of the god's disc, the secret cave was on the verge of collapse. Go. Yi Chen flew out and ran toward the outside world, following the path in his memory. In the outside world, the people of the immortal world and demon world were waiting for their teams to come out. The demon ruler had a smug smile. According to his plan, Li Xiong had killed the human race's geniuses and became the master of everything. He would definitely bring out the truth of the secret cave. Rumble. At this time, the earth shook and the secret cave showed signs of collapsing. What? Faced with such a shocking change, the people of the immortal world and demon world were confused. Demon ruler, what's going on? Ling Huang asked angrily. Ha, Ling Huang, I should be asking you, what's going on? You're not behind this. I'm not going to waste time with you. Wait for the results. Although the demon ruler did not know the reason for the secret cave's shaking, he thought that it was inevitable after Li Xiong found the treasure. Rumble. At this time, the shaking became more and more violent. The entire earth was shaking. Boom, boom, boom. Yi Chen cut his way through the thistles and thorns. He broke through countless rocks and flew out. Kacha! There was a shocking explosion. Yi Chen activated the 3rd-level divine vein and instantly broke through the boulder at the entrance and flew out. Seeing Yi Chen come out, the demon ruler was shocked. Li Xiong would not leave anyone alive. How did this person escape? The people of the demon world looked toward the secret cave entrance, hoping to see Li Xiong and the others appear. But they were disappointed. They saw nothing. As for the spirit realm, they also wanted to see the whereabouts of Yuqi Fengyun and the others. Ling Huang brought the people of the major clans to the cave entrance to observe, but because of the secret cave's age limit, they did not dare to come close. Yi Chen, where are Li Xiong and the others? The demon ruler finally could not stand it anymore and asked angrily. Ha, how would I know? You don't know, you went in together. You went in together, so you came out together? Yi Chen looked at the demon ruler coldly. Facing such a powerful person, he showed no fear. You're courting death. The demon ruler was furious and turned to kill Yi Chen. At this time, Ling Huang made a move. His vast psionic power suppressed the demon ruler and at the same time, took Yi Chen away from danger. Yi Chen, what's going on? Ling Huang asked. I don't know either. After entering the secret cave, I moved alone and did not encounter Li Xiong or Yuqi Fengyun. Hearing such an answer, Ling Huang frowned and did not know how to respond. The sovereign of the demon realm, however, was more direct. Yi Chen, did you kill them and take the treasure for yourself? A demon world combatant asked. Ha ha ha! Yi Chen laughed. What are you laughing at? The person asked, annoyed. I'm just a beginner fusion stage cultivator. What were you thinking? Could it be that the super prodigies of the demon world can't even defeat me? Hearing this, the demon world combatant could not respond because it was true. Logically speaking, not to mention Li Xiong, who was about to break through and undergo the Ascension Tribulation. Even a random prodigy of the demon clan could easily kill Yi Chen. Meanwhile, Ling Huang looked at Yi Chen, his heart trembling. What if Yi Chen killed everyone and came out alone? Chapter 1929. The demon tribe members could tell that Yi Chen did not seem to be lying. Most importantly, his cultivation base was insufficient to kill Li Xiong and the others. They could not continue to target Yi Chen because if they did so, it would seem like they were deliberately looking for excuses. After all, Yuqi Fengyun and the others from the human clan did not come out either. This was consistent with what Yi Chen had said. Perhaps Yi Chen had entered another path alone and survived. Meanwhile, the elites of the human clan and the demon clan had died inside. Of course, giving up like this was not the demon lord's character. He walked forward and looked at Yi Chen coldly. Yi Chen, did you find some treasure? Otherwise, how could you come out? Treasure? I'm lucky to come out alive. Where did the treasure come from? What's the truth about the secret cave? I only took a stroll in the primal chaos and returned from where I came from. As for what Yuqi Fengyun, Li Xiong and the others encountered, I really don't know. I think they really encountered a treasure. Otherwise, they wouldn't have died in there, right? D***eminent. The demon lord was furious and wanted to attack again but was blocked by Ling Huang. Demon lord, Yi Chen was able to come out because of his own ability. Why are you so aggressive? Ling Huang said. Old man, at least one of you humans came out. Our demon clan was completely annihilated. I don't believe this result. This kid must have done something. Ha, you're slandering me without evidence. I won't allow it. You! The sovereign of the demon realm gnashed his teeth in hatred. According to his plan, Li Xiong would never have failed. What had gone wrong? He did not expect that it was Yi Chen who had killed everyone. Ling Huang, you've angered the demon clan. You humans will die. Ha ha ha, ridiculous. Do you think I'm afraid of your threats? The two of them confronted each other. In the end, the humans and demons parted on bad terms. Rumble. The secret cave collapsed completely and turned into ruins. Let's go. Ling Huang led the humans and left. On the side of the devil race, after losing Li Xiong and the other geniuses, they naturally wouldn't let the matter rest. They watched as the humans left and wanted to reinvestigate the secret cave. However, they soon discovered that this was impossible. The secret cave had already been completely destroyed, and there were all sorts of dangerous energies within it. Wanting to reinvestigate and even enter it was too difficult. Looking at the ruins in front of him, the Devil Sovereign couldn't understand. Lord Sovereign, it's such a terrifying secret cave. We've studied it for hundreds of years before discovering the secret of the Gate of Death. It doesn't make sense that this kid could come out safely. Someone suggested. Do I need you to tell me that? This brat must have obtained some sort of lucky chance, or else he wouldn't have been able to come out alive with that little bit of cultivation. Li Xiong must have failed, and then fought with Yuqi Fengyun and the others, dying together in the cave. What a pity! The demonic realm overlord shook his head slightly. In the end, he accepted this reality. Of course, his hatred for Yi Chen rose sharply. He swore that he would make Yi Chen pay the price and then take away any treasure or great opportunity that Yi Chen had obtained. The humans returned to the spirit realm's imperial palace. Emperor Ling Huang met Yi Chen again. Yi Chen, you've worked hard this time, the spirit emperor said with a smile as soon as they met. It's not hard at all. This secret cave is complicated and ever-changing. I don't even know how I got there. It's completely beyond my control. Yi Chen replied. Ling Huang's eyes were sharp as he observed Yi Chen's behavior and expression. However, what kind of person was Yi Chen? He was the reincarnation of a heavenly emperor. This kind of behavior was a piece of cake for him. It was extremely difficult to find any flaws in Yi Chen's expression. You really didn't find anything? Emperor Ling, don't you believe me? I really didn't find anything. Yi Chen, I don't want any of your treasures. I just want the truth about this secret cave. I've been trapped in this spirit realm for too long, and my cultivation base has been unable to ascend. This is the most difficult thing for me. As long as you tell me the truth about the secret cave, I promise you that I'll definitely protect you to the end and prevent the demon clan from harming you. Demon clan? Ha, I don't care about that. Yi Chen's sudden arrogance stunned Emperor Ling Huang. Yi Chen, you said that you didn't find anything in the secret cave, but the demonic realm overlord will never believe you. They'll continue to target you. Cooperating with me is your only choice. Hearing this, Yi Chen felt a hint of threat. Emperor Ling wanted to rely on the demonic realm overlord to pressure him and force him to submit. Ha, Emperor Ling, participating in this secret cave trip was completed by your 6 immortal demon technique. It's fine if you don't reward me for completing the mission, but you're even questioning me. What's the meaning of this? Yi Chen's forceful retort surprised Emperor Ling Huang. It was the first time Emperor Ling had encountered someone who dared to talk to him like this in this spirit mountain. Yi Chen, you have to be mindful of your status. I'm Emperor Ling. So what if you're an emperor? Do I care? You. Emperor Ling Huang's brows were sharp and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Yi Chen's arrogance had far exceeded his expectations and even exceeded his bottom line. There's no need to say any more. Where are my friends? Ha, they're in the residence that I've arranged. Very good. Yi Chen increasingly felt that this was a conspiracy. If anything happened to Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch, he swore to flatten the entire spirit mountain. Emperor Ling, I advise you not to blindly test my bottom line. Hand over the Patriarch of Hell and Yi Wushuang immediately. Otherwise, there's nothing to talk about. Ha, it's not difficult for me to hand them over, but you have to tell me the truth about the secret cave and give me a satisfactory answer. Emperor Ling, is this how people from the spirit realm do things? Yi Chen, I've said it before. Know your place. I didn't save you from the demonic realm overlord for nothing. You must know how to be grateful. Hearing this, Yi Chen sneered in his heart. Grateful? What kind of gratitude was that? Was imprisoning his friends also gratitude? The so-called rescue was just a matter of convenience. There was a purpose behind it. All right, let me think about it. No problem, but you only have 1 day. With that, Emperor Ling called someone to bring Yi Chen back to his residence. Yi Chen's so-called think about it was just to buy himself time to cultivate the 8 Gates divine disc. Emperor Ling's cultivation base was too strong, so it was extremely dangerous to deal with him. Yi Chen still had to surround him with people and use the 8 Gates divine disc to find an opportunity to leave the spirit mountain. Returning to his residence, Yi Chen released a formation to isolate himself from the outside world. He wanted to be quiet in front of others, but inside, Yi Chen was already studying the power of the disc. The ancient god power and the divine vein were connected. This was the key to Yi Chen's cultivation of the divine vein. 8 gates of inner concealment, divine vein, appear. Yi Chen released the 8 gates divine disc. The power of the inner concealment triggered the divine vein to appear. Countless lines were like stars in the sky, exquisite beyond compare. Chapter 1930. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Above his head, the 8 gates divine disc released a golden glow. 8 gates appeared around Yi Chen, releasing a strange energy. Ancient God Power. Ancient God Power was the only thing that could activate the 8 gates of inner concealment. That was Yi Chen's biggest bargaining chip. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the ancient God Power circulated, the 8 divine patterns shone with golden light at the same time. At that moment, he was like a golden god of war. Surrounded by the 8 gates, he felt many magical changes. In the 8 gates divine formation, the speed of his spiritual power absorption increased qualitatively. This was something he did not notice before. Countless supreme-grade spirit stones appeared before Yi Chen. With the enhancement of the 8 gates divine formation, the effect of spiritual power even increased. If that's the case, I'll increase it to the limit in one go. Yi Chen spared no effort to save his friend. He released the immortal drift bottle. A full moon hung in the sky, overflowing with colorful lights. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The immortal drift bottle, which had been enhanced by the 8 gates divine arrays, had been purified by the immortal drift bottle. The immortal drift bottle had refined the spiritual energy to the extreme. It was impossible to find such pure spiritual energy in the entire spiritual realm. Roar! The space-time wrath appeared and frantically absorbed the liquid spiritual power flowing out of the immortal drift bottle. That's right, the pure energy had turned into liquid form, and the wrath devoured it greedily. Such pure spiritual power greatly reduced the pressure of refining the ancient god space. Yi Chen could almost absorb it directly. Rumble! Soon, there were loud rumbles in Yi Chen's meridians. Violent spiritual power began to flow. Ah! Yi Chen shouted. All sorts of spiritual power gathered in midair. Buzz, buzz, buzz! Subsequently, the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared in midair. The spiritual power continuously nourished the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit, causing its power to increase rapidly. The sword spirit's original body was Yi Wushuang. As the sword spirit's strength increased, Yi Wushuang sensed it at the same time. In the perilous peak prison, the Patriarch of Hell and Yi Wushuang sat cross-legged. Yi Wushuang sensed the changes in the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit. He derived spiritual power and cultivated rapidly. Wushuang. The Patriarch of Hell also sensed Yi Wushuang's change. He walked to the side to protect Yi Wushuang. In Yi Chen's residence, the 8 gates divine formations and the immortal drift bottle were activated at the same time. Yi Chen's cultivation base was improving at an unstoppable rate. Boom! The psionic power in Yi Chen's meridians went berserk. This 1% of the psionic power's effect was enough to cause a fusion stage martial artist to explode and die. However, Yi Chen relied on his stage 2 1-star ancient god's super strong resistance. No matter how the psionic power went berserk, he remained unmoved. Zzz. Yi Chen's eyes sparkled. He had almost turned into a psionic form. Roar! The space-time wrath devoured the psionic energy again. Finally, Yi Chen's body reached its limit. Boom! With a loud bang, Yi Chen broke through to the mid-body integration stage. Although it was only a small increase in rank, his actual combat power had soared more than 1,000 times. This was the powerful effect of the ancient god body. If an ordinary prodigy could increase their combat strength by 10 times after ascending a minor level, the ancient god body would increase their combat strength by at least 100 times. Now, with the support of the 8 gates divine formation and the immortal drift bottle, Yi Chen's strength had increased by at least 1,000 times. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Even tribulation clouds were about to appear above Yi Chen's head. This was a warning from the heavenly Tao. As Yi Chen's foundation was too strong, it did not match his cultivation base at all. Such a heaven-defying action had already attracted the attention of the heavenly tribulation. Under normal circumstances, only people at the peak of the ascension tribulation would encounter this. This was a sign of ascending to become an itinerant immortal. Now, Yi Chen was only at the mid-body integration stage, but he had already encountered such a scene. In order to improve himself, Yi Chen did not care about the heavenly tribulation. As the ancient God heart technique circulated, the energy gradually calmed down. The meridians in his body flowed smoothly, and everything was revived. Keep. Yi Chen put away the divine weapons, the immortal drift bottle and the 8 gates divine formation. Standing up, Yi Chen felt that his foundation was incomparably strong. He could not stand anyone from the spirit realm at all. Wushuang, Patriarch, wait for me. Yi Chen walked out of the main hall forcefully. Outside the main hall, two guards looked at Yi Chen coldly. Where are you going? Both of their cultivation bases were extraordinary. They were people specially sent by the Spirit Emperor to watch over Yi Chen. They were all Ascension Almighties. Heaven and earth are my oyster. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold as he walked straight forward. How dare you ignore us? You deserve to die. Be ****. The two powerhouses attacked angrily, blocking Yi Chen's path. Get lost, or you'll die without a burial place. Ha ha ha. Hearing this, the two powerhouses laughed out loud. They were both Ascension stage powerhouses. If they said, get lost, in the face of a integration stage person, they would not be able to live anymore. They would just kill themselves. Brat, you're too arrogant. Die. The two powerhouses moved instantly and went straight for Yi Chen. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Yi Chen used the 9 heavens U-step. His body was exquisite and peerless. The two powerhouses' attacks could not hit him at all. Huh! Both of them were Ascension stage powerhouses. It was their first time encountering a integration stage person. It was unimaginable that they could not hit him. Get lost! Yi Chen shouted angrily. He ignored the two of them like pigs and dogs and walked straight forward. His goal was to save Wushuang. The Patriarch of Hell did not want to waste time here. Ha ha ha, ignorant brat, how dare you look down on us? I don't think the Spirit Emperor will blame us for killing you. That's right. This person is extremely arrogant. He doesn't know what's good for him. Kill him to prevent future troubles. The two Ascension stage powerhouses' killing intent was revealed, and they attacked. Rumble. Suddenly, spatial psionic power flooded the world. At this moment, Yi Chen was surrounded. The powerful energy seemed to tear everything apart. Obviously, the two of them were angered and wanted to kill Yi Chen. To them, Yi Chen was nothing. He was just an integration stage person. There were many people in the spiritual realm, so there was no need to treat him with courtesy. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The two of them moved instantly and a super powerful spiritual weapon, the killing wind, appeared in their hands. Kill. The two of them shouted and brandished their sharp blades without hesitation. Yi Chen stood where he was. His cold eyes were filled with the Grim Reaper's light. This was the first battle after breaking through. At the same time, it was also the first slash after breaking through. 8 gates of divinity. Death gate open. Above Yi Chen's head, a door of darkness slowly opened. Following that, an endless amount of power burst out. Rumble. The dark light with the aura of death instantly covered the entire space. Heaven and earth turned dark, and one could not see anything. Suppress. Suppress everything. What's going on? What's going on? I can't see, I can't see. The two of them lost their sight at the same time. They opened their spiritual eyes and wanted to observe, but even the spiritual eyes could not do anything. Before the 8 gates of divinity and the darkness divine power, they thought that all their actions were futile. At this moment they finally felt the fear in their hearts. This was the trembling of their souls. The Grim Reaper was right in front of them. Why? Chapter 1931. Sink into the darkness divine power. Yi Chen's body slowly hovered into the air. He opened his arms and activated the dark death gate to guide the lonely souls. Ah! As they screamed in pain, the two tribulation transcending experts were unable to resist the darkness divine power. Inside the 8 gates divine disk formation, their bodies were drawn closer and closer to the door of darkness. It wasn't that they wanted to get closer, but the powerful suction force of the door of darkness made it impossible for them to move. No, impossible! A conjoint body cultivator shouldn't be so powerful. Is this the reason why the Spirit Emperor is afraid of him? At the end of their lives, they finally understood why Emperor Ling Huang was so afraid of Yi Chen. However, it was useless. Their lives had come to an end. Gotcha. As the door of darkness closed, the two of them disappeared, completely dead. Return. Yi Chen put away the 8-gate divine disc and moved quickly to locate Wushuang and the Patriarch. Celestial Dharch Sword Spirit. He released the Heavenly Emperor Sword Spirit and communicated with Yi Wushuang. Yi Wushuang's image appeared in Yi Chen's mind. Master, where are you? I don't know either. I sensed that it was a dangerous peak, and there was a formation outside. I'm not sure if what I saw was real or not. It's all right. Release the Heavenly Dharch Sword Qi, and I will find you. Yes. Yi Wushuang walked to the cell window and released his Heavenly Emperor Spirit energy. The old ancestor walked over and didn't forget to drink a mouthful of wine. He wasn't nervous at all. Ha ha, fellow Taoist Yi, right? I knew that, fellow Taoist, you would definitely be fine. You even came to save us. Of course, Master will be fine. Yi Wushuang continued to release the Heavenly Emperor's spiritual energy, and this spiritual energy was protected by the Heavenly Emperor Law. Although the energy was not as powerful as before, with the height of the rule, it could completely break through the formation and transmit information. Above the 9 heavens, Yi Chen activated his golden pupil flame to observe the area within 100 miles. Zzz. Very soon, he discovered the existence of the Heavenly Emperor's spiritual energy. Dangerous peak. Yi Chen found the location of the prison and flew toward the dangerous peak. Yi Chen sensed the aura of the formation when he was 50 kilometers away from the vanguard. Zzz. The structure of the formation appeared in his golden pupil flame. The entire formation appeared in Yi Chen's mind. A mere formation dares to block my path? Yi Chen held the Heavenly Dharch sword in his hand. His eyes locked onto a spot in the formation. Boom! The place where the sword Qi landed was the core of the formation. Yi Chen saw through the crux of the formation at a glance and broke the formation easily. Kacha, kacha, kacha! As the formation shattered, Yi Chen continued to move forward and arrived at the dangerous peak. Ancestor Wushuang. He shouted at the prison inside the vanguard. Ha ha ha, fellow Yi, I'm waiting for you here. The Patriarch was not nervous at all. He even looked happy. Yi Chen was speechless. However, it was in line with his style. Get out of the way. Yi Chen got the duo to make way for him. Subsequently, he threw a punch. Boom! The earth trembled and rocks flew everywhere. The prison instantly shattered and turned into ruins. Whoosh whoosh. The Patriarch and Wushuang flew out and arrived next to Yi Chen. Fellow Taoist Yi, I have to thank you this time. There's no need to thank me. Let's leave this place quickly. Yes. Yi Chen was about to leave with the old ancestor and Wushuang. At this moment, a thunderclap resounded in the sky. Rumble. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. 3 powerhouses blocked the way. Yi Chen looked over and saw that they were all mid-stage tribulation stage powerhouses. They were much more powerful than the 2 who had stopped him before. Oh, there are actually 3 tribulation stage powerhouses. This Ling Huang really thinks highly of us. The Patriarch walked forward and said with a smile while drinking some aged wine. Get lost, old thing. One of the powerhouses scolded the Patriarch. The Patriarch's eyes turned cold. Do you think I'm a sick cat if I don't show my power? Who isn't a tribulation stage powerhouse? With a loud bang, the Patriarch took out the underworld sword. The power of his body erupted, and his foundation was unprecedentedly strong. He had entered the tribulation stage. Not bad, Patriarch. Yi Chen was secretly delighted. He did not expect that the Patriarch of Hell had secretly passed the tribulation stage. The 3 of them were surprised when they sensed the Patriarch's aura. According to the information they received, the Patriarch was only a conjoint body cultivator. Kill. However, the 3 of them were mid-stage tribulation stage powerhouses. How could they be afraid? They attacked the Patriarch one after another. You want to bully me with numbers? I'm not afraid. Those who could stay by Yi Chen's side were naturally talented. The Patriarch took out the underworld territory and the power of the underworld sword in his hand doubled. Kill! The patriarch shouted. The power of the underworld surged between heaven and earth, and endless death energy rushed toward the three people in front of him. What? Sensing the death energy, even though the three were tribulation stage powerhouses, they still felt a chill down their spine, and their limbs turned cold. Instantly, the patriarch's attack was stopped. Ha ha ha, fellow Yi, I didn't embarrass you, did I? Just passable. Yi Chen replied with a smile. My talent is incomparable to yours. It's already very good that I'm passable in your eyes. At least, I'm much better than this trash. What? The three of them were furious when they heard the patriarch's words. Reckless old thing, let's kill him together. Attack! The three of them attacked the patriarch together. At that moment, the dark energy in Yi Chen's palm continued to flow. At the same time, he channeled the power of the divine board and used the dark energy to create an invisible death zone behind the patriarch. Kill! The three of them did not notice the secret at all. They only saw the patriarch charging at them. The patriarch and Yi Chen exchanged glances. They understood Yi Chen's intention. Ha ha, good, good. The patriarch's indifferent attitude made the three of them even more furious. They lost their calm, and they wanted to kill the patriarch of freedom. Kill, kill, kill! The three of them charged at the patriarch with bloodthirsty eyes. Now, Yi Chen reminded them. The patriarch is leaving. The patriarch of hell's sword energy soared into the sky. The power of the underworld filled the air, and the death energy opened a path. His figure disappeared. Where is he? Seeing the patriarch disappear into thin air, the three of them were shocked and wanted to find him. At that moment, the three of them did not know that they had still entered Yi Chen's assassination barrier. Since you're here, stay. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold, and he threw the immortal slaying flying dagger. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The immortal slaying flying dagger entered the void and rushed out of Yi Chen's death zone. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. 3 cold lights flashed, and 3 bloody marks appeared. 3 heads fell to the ground. Thump, thump, thump. The 3 of them were killed, shocking the people of the spirit realm. When the spirit realm army in the distance saw this scene, everyone shuddered with fear. Yi Chen was too powerful. Ah! Chapter 1932. Yi Chen, how dare you break into the prison? How dare you? The spiritual emperor soared into the sky and looked down at everyone with an imposing manner. Spirit sovereign, you have the ambition of a wolf. You used us to investigate the immortal and demonic secret realms for you. Now that you've served your purpose, you want to harm us? How could it be so easy? Yi Chen stood alone in the void, facing Ling Huang. The patriarch of hell and Yi Wushuang stood behind him. The 3 of them were in the same boat and could not be separated. Yi Chen, I'll give you one last chance. Tell me the truth about the immortal demonic secret zones and I'll let you leave. Nonsense. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold as energy exploded. Boom. The powerful aura swept out in all directions, and the surrounding experts were all shocked. This kid actually has such powerful strength. Many powerhouses from the spiritual realm were shocked, and some even felt terrified. Yi Chen, you're stubborn. You must die. Ha ha ha, no one can stop the heavens. Arrogant. The spirit emperor was furious. He flew out, and a chaotic light immortal force appeared around him. It was incomparably high. Celestial power. Yi Chen's eyes narrowed as he realized that the spirit emperor might have already achieved itinerant immortal stage. He was determined to explore the immortal demon secret cave for the sake of his own itinerant cultivation base. The truth was right before their eyes. Spirit Emperor, so you're already a rogue immortal. Ha ha ha, it's too late now. Killing you will allow me to obtain the truth of the secret land. The Spirit Emperor was certain that the truth of the secret zone was in Yi Chen's hands, and that many of the combatants in the cave were killed by Yi Chen. If you want to pin a crime on someone, you can always find a pretext. Kill. The Spirit Emperor attacked angrily. Immortal energy mixed in his hand, and his power covered the sky. Take this. Patriarch Yellow Spring's sword energy swept out, and the Yellow Spring sword went straight for Ling Huang. Forefather, you can't. Yi Chen wanted to stop him, but the Patriarch had already attacked. Boom. The Grand Elder's sword chi was instantly broken, and his body was sent flying back. Patriarch. Yi Chen went forward to hold the Patriarch. At that moment, the Patriarch was severely injured. Wushuang, take care of the old ancestor. Yes. Yi Wushuang supported the Patriarch and went to the back. This old fellow is actually so strong. I was careless. The old ancestor smiled. Although he was heavily injured, his spirit didn't decrease. At this moment, Yi Chen and Ling Huang stood facing each other in the sky. No one dared to move. Yi Chen, you've witnessed my strength. So what? I don't care if you're an immortal or an emperor. Before the heavens, you can only bow your head. Starlight shone from Yi Chen's eyes. The day turned into a starry sky. Seeing such a scene, even the Spirit Emperor felt shocked, unable to understand. Looks like this is the truth behind the secret cave. If that's the case, come and get it. Yi Chen activated the 8 Gates divine disc and the power of the starry sky. Instantly, the might of an ancient god filled the sky and the light of the sun and moon illuminated the universe. Boom! The boundless power transformed into the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit and landed in Yi Chen's hand. Kill. The celestial Darch sword determined the universe with one slash. Immortal art, heartless Tao. Facing such a terrifying might, Ling Huang used the scattered celestial technique and transformed it into a boundless palm energy that shot out from the sky. Boom! The might of the celestial Darch sword clashed with the mighty palm print in the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The surroundings were torn apart, and the void was lifeless. You can actually block my palm energy. Looks like if I don't get rid of you, there'll be endless trouble in the future. Ling Huang thought that his palm strike was enough to kill Yi Chen, but he was wrong. Gravely wrong. The Yi Chen before him had a strong foundation and powerful divine abilities that completely exceeded his imagination. Yi Chen was definitely a match for him. Ling Huang, you're too confident. You'll pay the price for your confidence. Facing Ling Huang's shock, Yi Chen did not change his expression. His eyes were cold like a real heavenly emperor looking down on all living beings. This situation shocked and terrified countless spirit realm powerhouses. Who was Yi Chen? He was just a master conjoint body cultivator. However, Ling Huang was a powerful immortal. Even so, they were evenly matched. This meant that Yi Chen's talent and potential were immeasurable, like a terrifying god or demon. This person is so abnormal. It's unbelievable. How powerful is Ling Huang? He can't kill this person with one palm. He's too powerful. I've never seen such a powerful prodigy. Genius can't even describe his talent. Many spirit realm powerhouses shook their heads. They thought that the people of the spirit realm could rely on their superior environment to cultivate geniuses who surpassed all levels. However, Yi Chen, a person who had ascended from the spirit realm, had broken their conventional thinking. The shock of having their worldview destroyed was indescribable. Their hearts were filled with Yi Chen's shadow. Ling Huang looked behind him from the corner of his eyes and saw that everyone was shocked by Yi Chen's strength. This was not good news. All of you, calm down. A thunderous roar shocked everyone. Yes, everyone bowed. At this time, Ling Huang was furious and ruthless. No one dared to disobey his orders. Your time is up. Yi Chen, die. Ha, the game has just begun and you want to end it. What a joke. So what if he was an itinerant immortal? Before the Heavenly Emperor, they were all ants. Kill. Yi Chen activated the Heavenly Emperor's sword's might and combined it with the 8 Gates divine disc. The surrounding space immediately fell into a divine inscription barrier. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless divine inscriptions bloomed on Yi Chen's sword. The space rule kept changing. Even Ling Huang's immortal technique was restricted. Impossible! Ling Huang turned pale with fright. At this moment, he finally understood that the secret cave really existed. It was the power Yi Chen used. Ha ha, very good, very good. He quickly recovered from the shock. This was the powerful mind cultivation of itinerant immortals. They could better control their emotions, allowing their combat power to soar. Kill you and I'll get everything. Ling Huang's face revealed a crazed expression as if he had changed into a different person. Many spirit realm powerhouses trembled. Many tribulation stage powerhouses knelt down. They did not dare to face Ling Huang's form. Ling Huang has entered the form of an immortal. Yi Chen must die. Let's hurry up and worship him. Otherwise, we'll die too. That's right, that's right. Many high and mighty powerhouses were like ants at this moment, kneeling in front of him. Ha! Ling Huang burst into laughter. It was like thunder, shocking everyone. Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch were so shocked that their bodies involuntarily wanted to kneel. Wushuang, hold on. The Patriarch gritted his teeth and shouted at Yi Wushuang. All right. Yi Wushuang was in a difficult situation as well. The restrictions of the immortal technique were too severe. Unless he had an ancient god body like Yi Chen, he would not be able to resist. Seeing Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch's predicament, a cold gleam flashed in Yi Chen's eyes. A heaven-devouring wrath dragon appeared behind him. Roar! The wrath dragon devoured the sky with supreme majesty. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Following that, countless immortal techniques were directly absorbed into the ancient god space. What? Chapter 1933. Absorbing my immortal art? Impossible. Seeing that the fury dragon behind Yi Chen was absorbing the power of the immortal technique, this phenomenon had already exceeded the spirit sovereign's imagination. It was precisely because he was an itinerant immortal powerhouse that such a thing had never happened in a long time that he could not believe what he was seeing. The experts from the spiritual realm were even more shocked by this phenomenon, and many of them were dumbfounded. Immortal techniques were extremely powerful laws. Without ascending to the ranks of immortals, it was absolutely impossible to comprehend and use them. Meanwhile, Yi Chen was only a mastery integration powerhouse who had not even completed the ascension. He definitely had no fate with immortal methods. However, how could he absorb immortal methods directly? What did you do? Spirit Emperor asked in a trembling voice. I didn't do anything. Yi Chen replied coldly, making Ling Huang feel even more hopeless. It was as if all his hard work had been a joke. The person in front of him, a person of the spirit realm, had actually grasped the truth that he wanted the most and had even used it against him. How ironic was this? It was true that Yi Chen had not mastered immortal methods, but ancient god power was a natural order that was far above immortal methods. Therefore, even if Yi Chen could not master immortal methods, he could still use the space-time fury-devouring immortal system to refine him into food for his ancient god body. That was all. Naturally, such a method was very risky because if the opponent's immortal method was too powerful, Yi Chen might be severely injured. Spirit Emperor, your greed is insatiable. You want to use our lives to find the truth for you. Unfortunately, you're not worthy of the truth. Yi Chen's words were like an awl, constantly stabbing into Ling Huang's heart. For many years, he had been unable to ascend. Such a heavy feeling caused him to gradually lose himself. His heart was no longer calm, and his cultivation base was unable to break through. He had completely turned into another person, and in order to achieve his goals, he would do anything. Am I wrong? I want to ascend, I want to grow, am I wrong? The spiritual emperor kept shouting hysterically. Spirit Emperor, your wrongs and wrongs have nothing to do with me. Take care of yourself. Yi Chen led Wu Shuang and the patriarch out. No, come back here. Ling Huang flew out again, wanting to capture Yi Chen. He was not willing to give up. He wanted to know the truth about the secret cave. Yi Chen's eyes gleamed with a chilling gleam as he activated the 8 divine boards. ZZZ. The divine rune barrier blocked the operation of the celestial technique, and the Spirit Emperor's figure instantly fell to the ground. This was the first time that the Almighty Emperor had fallen in front of the crowd, so powerless and helpless. Everyone was shocked. Yi Chen's superiority could no longer be tampered with. Everyone worshipped Yi Chen. Yi Chen is a real immortal. We're impressed. You're too amazing. Farewell, Senior. Many old powerhouses of the spirit realm knelt on the ground and respectfully bid farewell to Senior. At the sight of this, the celestial sovereign's heart sank. He had never thought that he would be unable to defeat a body integration realm cultivator despite cultivating his entire life. Could this still be considered cultivation? Sighing, the Spirit Emperor bowed towards the departing silhouette and left the Spirit Emperor Palace. Spirit Emperor? Everyone urged him to stay. Although the Spirit Sovereign had lost to Yi Chen, he was still their pillar of support. Everyone, I was possessed. Fortunately, I was awakened by Senior Yi Chen. This person's talent is extraordinary and his foundation is strong. He's not an ordinary person at all. He must be a super powerhouse who has reincarnated. I'm no longer qualified to lead everyone again. From now on, all of you will worship Emperor Yi Chen. After saying that, Emperor Ling turned around and left. Everyone was dumbfounded. No one had expected things to develop to this extent. Without the Spirit Emperor, who would fight against the demon realm? Yi Chen brought Wu Shuang and the patriarch to a quiet place and sat cross-legged to rest. Yi Chen took out a golden pill and handed it to the patriarch. This is a golden pill I obtained from the immortal demon's secret realm. It's definitely effective. Alright, thank you, fellow Yi. The patriarch was ecstatic. It was not only because of the golden pill in front of him but also because of Yi Chen's strength. What kind of person was an itinerant immortal? They were super powerhouses on land. The might of their immortal techniques was unstoppable. However, in front of Yi Chen, they could not even withstand a single blow. It was the patriarch's lifetime honor to travel with such a person. The patriarch swallowed the golden pill in one gulp and immediately felt his internal organs warm. Spiritual power circulated in his meridians. It was extremely normal and even contained extremely strong rules, allowing the meridians in his body to grow again and become more solid. This was a double improvement of his foundation and talent. Ha ha ha, good golden pill, good golden pill! The patriarch shouted with a loud laugh. Fellow Yi, where are we going next? I sensed it. This Spirit Emperor Palace is not the highest place in the spirit realm. Oh, you have a new direction? I sensed a place. That's the best place for me to go through the tribulation. Let's go. That's great. I also need to adjust my breathing, rest, and stabilize my foundation. Everyone got up and followed Yi Chen. After traveling for 1,000 miles, Yi Chen brought the two of them to the foot of a mountain. This place was filled with spiritual energy, beautiful mountains, and clear waters. The environment was excellent. Phew! The patriarch took a deep breath and immediately felt refreshed. The spiritual power contained in it was so rich. Fellow Yi, there must be a pure spiritual vein here, the patriarch said. That's right, I've already sensed the location of the spiritual vein. Let's go. Yi Chen walked in front and brought everyone to the 3 peaks. The two of you, these 3 peaks have 3 spiritual veins hidden. It's the best place for us to cultivate and ascend. Let's go in separately. Beautiful, the patriarch can't wait. The 3 of them nodded at each other. Yi Chen entered the middle while Wu Shuang and the patriarch entered the mountains on both sides. Rumble. Yi Chen smashed the boulder with his palm and a secret path appeared. This secret path was incomparably dark. Yi Chen waved his sword fingers and divine light bloomed, leading the way. After walking for about 10 miles, Yi Chen entered one of the spiritual veins. This was the core of the entire mountain range. Furho, now is the time for you to play your role. Roar! Behind Yi Chen, Furho appeared. As it roared, the surrounding space shattered and the power of the spiritual vein emerged. Now is the time to go through the tribulation. Yi Chen activated the 8 gates divine disc. Immediately the 8 gates opened. Rumble! With a strong vibration, the power of the 8 gates and Furho's devouring technique activated the ascension formation around Yi Chen. Whoosh whoosh whoosh! The spiritual vein glowed and endless spiritual energy entered the formation. After being purified, it was absorbed by Furho and entered Yi Chen's body. Rumble! The ancient god's space was like a furnace, constantly refining pure spiritual energy, making Yi Chen's body gradually clear. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Yi Chen's eyes emitted infinite spiritual light and his body was crystal clear. Above his head, countless colorful clouds gradually condensed. Chapter 1934. Boom! Between the heavens and the earth, colorful clouds flew about. Drastic changes. The tribulation cloud suddenly appeared and began to attack Yi Chen's barrier. Are they here? Yi Chen opened his eyes and looked at the sky. The ascension that he had been waiting for was finally here. Such a heaven-defying act shall be punished by the heavens. Up in the sky, a majestic voice rang out. The great Tao was merciless, and the vast expanse was destroyed. The 8 gates divine disc, the space-time fury, and the heavenly emperor's original form. Yi Chen's talent was too powerful. It was obvious that he had surpassed the limits of heaven and earth, triggering the heavenly retribution and earth-destroying thunder that was thousands of times more powerful than an ordinary person. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The divine lightning descended upon the world, annihilating the heretic. The power of the immortal and demon was activated. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. Endless samsara spun. High up in the 9 heavens, tribulation clouds manifested the figure of an Empyrean. Oh! Seeing the heavenly venerate's figure, Yi Chen smiled coldly. His arrogance did not decrease in the slightest. Come on! Lightning flickered in his eyes as he glared at the supremacy of divine lightning. Exterminate! The divine thunder struck furiously, wanting to kill Yi Chen. Boom! Emotionless giant energy bombarded heaven and earth. No one could survive here. The phenomenon triggered by Yi Chen's tribulation stage could be compared to ordinary geniuses becoming immortals. Boom! The divine thunder struck furiously, and the mountain range shook violently. Countless mountain peaks were shattered by the divine thunder and turned into dust. Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch, who were absorbing spiritual power in the other earth veins, sensed all of this. Ha ha ha, fellow Yi, you've finally reached this stage. Your cultivation is about to catch up to me, your ancestor. It's really incredible. Master, you've transcended the tribulation and ascended. Your strength has reached a whole new level, and you're invincible under heaven. Both of them cheered Yi Chen on. Of course, they knew very well that such a small problem would not be a problem for Yi Chen. Then, the two of them entered meditation. Boom! The divine thunder searched for Yi Chen's location. Finally, the coordinates of Yi Chen, who was in the center of the ley line, were locked onto. Destroy. Boom! Between heaven and earth, the lightning turned into a lightning spear and attacked Yi Chen. Heavenly Dharch soared. Although he was brimming with confidence, Yi Chen had to show enough respect to the immortal-level divine thunder power. The heavenly emperor sword spirit made its move. Kill. The sword chi rose to the sky and slashed out. Boom. The earth veins surged for 90,000 miles, shooting straight into the 9 heavens divine slaying thunder. This strike completely broke through the core of the earth vein. The sword-shaped sword cut through all obstacles and rushed toward the divine thunder. Kacha, kacha, kacha! The sword Qi was irresistible and instantly destroyed the power of the divine thunder. Ha ha ha! This move triggered the mad laughter of the supreme divine thunder. Subsequently, countless lightning spears condensed in the sky. This was a response to Yi Chen's heaven-defying move. Destroy! So. Countless lightning spears rained down like raindrops. Ah! In the face of heaven's judgment, Yi Chen laughed maniacally as well. Subsequently, his figure flashed and soared into the sky. Qi. He pointed his sword forward, breaking through all kinds of obstacles. Mountain rocks flew everywhere, space shattered, and a person rushed out from the shattered energy like a meteor. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless lightning spears attacked Yi Chen. One sword to shake 19 prefectures. The heavenly emperor's sword spirit appeared between Yi Chen's brows. Subsequently, the heavenly emperor's apparition appeared behind him. The heavenly emperor's apparition wrapped around Yi Chen and turned into a sword spirit Qi shield to protect him. The power of the divine thunder is mine. Subsequently, Yi Chen made a shocking move. He turned into the dragon of time and space and frantically devoured the divine thunder. Roar! The dragon of time and space triggered the space rules, and the entire space turned into a huge beast mouth that devoured everything. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless lightning spears were directly devoured by the dragon of time and space, leaving nothing behind. Roar! The dragon of time and space was destroyed. In the end, all the lightning spears were absorbed by Yi Chen. Ah! Yi Chen returned to his original form and glared at the supreme divine thunder. The supreme divine thunder was tens of thousands of feet tall and looked down on everything. However, in front of Yi Chen, he had no dignity at all. Emperor's Order Universal / The heavenly emperor's sword spirit appeared in Yi Chen's hand again. Rumble! An incomparably huge sword shape slashed towards supreme divine thunder. Go! The divine thunder condensed again, and then endless wind and flames attacked at the same time, all rushing toward Yi Chen. Such a phenomenon clearly exceeded the level of the tribulation stage. This was completely a test for immortals, even for powerful immortals. The world turned upside down and the universe was shaken. Then eat my attack. Yi Chen's eyes flashed with infinite power. The power of the divine thunder that he had absorbed before came into effect at this moment. With a long shout, the heavenly emperor behind Yi Chen's body flickered with electricity, and the heavenly emperor's sword of divine thunder condensed in between its brows. Whoosh! The sword gleam came out forcefully, like an arrow leaving the bow, falling to the ground like a meteor, unstoppable. Boom, boom, boom. Along the way, all the tribulation clouds were destroyed, and everything turned into dust. Rumble! In the end, the sword gleam penetrated the supreme divine thunder, and the supreme divine thunder's body suddenly shattered. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The endless power of the divine thunder scattered between heaven and earth. Roar! The roar of time and space appeared again. At the same time, in the sky, the 8 gates divine disk enhanced the power of the roar, absorbing all the power of the divine thunder. This was the endless power of creation. Absorbing such power could completely refine the body of the supreme divine thunder. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The ancient divine body contained all things, and the power of the divine thunder mixed with the bloodline. Rumble! In Yi Chen's meridians, endless divine thunder turned into divine dragons, constantly attacking in all directions, shaking his body. Unparalleled ancient god. Releasing the ancient god power, Yi Chen's body was indestructible, and he forcefully absorbed and refined the 9 heavens' divine thunder. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In the end, the supreme divine thunder was formed. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Yi Chen opened his eyes and endless lightning flashed. He clenched his hands, and the powerful power shook the world. The entire mountain suddenly exploded. Devour! The powerful gravity of the spiritual vein in the earth was completely absorbed by the devouring power of the divine thunder. Ah! He had just broken through, but his foundation was already extremely stable. This spiritual land was the best place for Yi Chen to break through. Clap, clap, clap. At this time, applause sounded. It was the patriarch who appeared. Congratulations, fellow Yi, on ascending to the ascension stage. The patriarch walked over with a smile, but halfway there, his face showed shock. Fellow Yi, your tribulation transcendence stage is too exaggerated. You actually have such a powerful divine thunder power on you. This is something that even I have never encountered before. The Patriarch of Hell felt the power of the divine thunder around Yi Chen in surprise and said, "Ha, I've absorbed all the power of the Supreme Divine Thunder and achieved the Supreme Divine Thunder." Ha! The Patriarch was stunned. Even the strongest genius had to hide when encountering such a disaster, but Yi Chen directly absorbed the power of creation. Such courage, talent, and luck were indescribable. There was only one word: powerful. Chapter 1935. Fellow Yi, after coming to the spiritual realm, I received news that the Netherworld Battle Mansion wants to invite me back. The Patriarch of Netherworld stepped forward. The Netherworld Battle Mansion? Yi Chen was puzzled when he heard of this place. I have some friends there. Now that I've recovered my cultivation base, it's time to go back and see them. I see. Since everyone is here, why don't we go together? I also want to see what kind of strange place the Netherworld Battle Mansion is. Please. The three of them headed toward the Netherworld. The Netherworld Battle Mansion was a secret place in the spiritual realm where independent cultivators gathered. The forces there were complicated. The place where the Patriarch of Netherworld was at was one of the major forces, the Netherworld sect. Previously, the Patriarch of Netherworld was the Supreme Elder of the Netherworld sect. Later, he left the sect for various reasons and met Yi Chen. After entering the spiritual realm, the Patriarch of Netherworld contacted the Netherworld sect. In the end, the Netherworld sect learned that the Patriarch of Netherworld was still alive. They were very happy and hoped that he would return to the sect. The three of them rode on the sword boat and traveled millions of miles in a day. Finally, they arrived at a strange place. Fellow Yi, the entrance to the 3,000 feet of the Netherworld is just ahead. 3,000 feet of the Netherworld. That's right. The Netherworld Battle Mansion is 3,000 feet below. Many hermits and experts of the spiritual realm are gathered there. However, those so-called righteous sects don't care about it. It's a small world. I see. But those righteous sects might not be stronger than this place, right? Ha ha, of course. Even the Spirit Emperor of the spiritual realm is no match for you. I think you should be the strongest here. That's not the case. Seeing Yi Chen's cold eyes as if he saw something they did not, the Patriarch of Netherworld revealed a puzzled expression. Although the Spirit Emperor is an itinerant immortal, he's only a first tribulation itinerant immortal. To be precise, he's not even a first tribulation itinerant immortal. The spiritual realm is so vast. The true experts could be anywhere. The Patriarch of Netherworld nodded slightly. Itinerant immortals don't attack easily because they want to avoid heavenly tribulations. However, most of them are hermits. Forget it, let's not talk about this anymore. He made an inviting gesture, then released a talisman, which flew into the valley. The three of them arrived in front of the valley. Yi Chen looked over and saw that it was indeed bottomless like a bottomless pit. Furthermore, there was a powerful formation within the valley. The arrangement of the rules was extremely complicated. If an ordinary person didn't know the method, it would be extremely difficult to enter. This was the Yellow Springs Isolation Formation. The talisman released by the Grand Ancestor flew 3,000 feet below and quickly disappeared without a trace. We will wait here. Someone will come out to welcome us soon. The old ancestor said with a smile. Yi Chen nodded lightly. After about a moment, a dark light suddenly appeared 3,000 zhang below. Then, the dark light flickered upwards. Who cast the spell? That person floated in midair, his eyes emitting fiery light, looking extremely strange. It was me, your ancestor, who sent it. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring stepped forward and said to that person. You are. That person looked at the old ancestor with a puzzled expression. He could sense a powerful Yellow Spring's aura from the old ancestor's body. This aura was extremely familiar, and at the same time, it shocked him. Ha, you must be a junior of the Yellow Springs. You don't recognize me? Patriarch? You're the Patriarch of Yellow Spring? That's me. That's great. Patriarch, please accept this disciple's bow. Sensing the old ancestor's aura, that cultivator directly knelt in midair and bowed to the old ancestor. Get up. Take us to the Netherworld sect. Yes. That person stood up and bowed slightly to Yi Qin and Yi Wushuang. Subsequently, he led the three of them and rushed down 3,000 zhang below. The four of them turned into streams of light and rushed down 3,000 zhang. After landing, Yi Qin observed his surroundings. The environment here was extremely dark, and there was a strange atmosphere that made people feel uneasy. Of course, such an atmosphere had no effect on him at all. There were cultivators walking around everywhere. Many of them looked angry and had a strong murderous aura. Coupled with the old ancestor's introduction, Yi Qin immediately understood that the forces here were extremely complicated. Many of them might be wanted criminals in the spirit realm. This way, please. The cultivator led Yi Qin and the other two into a stone passage. The old ancestor revealed a puzzled expression. Kid, since when do we have to take such a small path to the Netherworld sect? The old ancestor asked. I don't dare to lie to you, old ancestor. The Netherworld sect is completely different from before you left. As he spoke, the man revealed a helpless expression and seemed to be in a heavy mood. Hearing this, the old ancestor frowned. He knew that something had happened. What do you mean? Before the old ancestor left, the Netherworld sect was the most powerful sect within 3,000 zhang of the Netherworld sect and occupied the leading position here. Now that they had to take such a small path to enter the sect, it was obvious that they had been greatly excluded. Old ancestor, you'd better go back and tell the sect leader. He'll tell you. All right, lead the way. The old ancestor's face was filled with anger. As the former supreme elder of the Netherworld sect, he could not watch his sect fall to such an extent. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Everyone quickly entered the Netherworld sect. The old ancestor was furious along the way, clearly very dissatisfied with such an outcome. Finally, they arrived in front of the Netherworld sect. Yi Qin looked over and saw that the three big words of the Netherworld sect were crooked. It was obvious that someone had done something to it. What's going on? The old ancestor was furious. It was a great humiliation for a dignified sect's plaque to be so crooked. Old ancestor, please calm down. This is a prank by the evil dragon gang. They deliberately messed with us. The man said with his head lowered. Evil dragon gang? Where did they come from? The old ancestor thought about it carefully but did not recall any evil dragon gang. Old ancestor, this happened after you left, so you don't know. What bullsh ** t evil dragon gang. Break. The old ancestor was furious. He struck out with his palm and the powerful force shattered the entire plaque. Subsequently, the old ancestor condensed his chi with his sword finger and violently wrote 3 golden words on the stone gate, Netherworld sect. Domineering, Yi Qin said. Thank you for your praise, fellow Yi. The old ancestor's mood improved slightly, but when he turned to the disciple, he showed anger again. Bring me to your sect leader immediately. Yes. Seeing the old ancestor's hot temper, the disciple did not dare to delay and quickly led the old ancestor forward. After walking for about a moment, a large hall appeared in front of them. It was the Netherworld sect's meeting hall. Several people were discussing something, each of them frowning and depressed. Rumble. A powerful pressure came, causing everyone's hearts to tremble, and they stood up. Who is it? The Netherworld sect leader, the Netherworld Taoist, stood up and questioned the people outside the door. The old ancestor of Netherworld. The 4 words shocked the powerhouses present. End of this chapter. Chapter 1936. Taoist Master Netherworld burst into tears when he heard the Patriarch's name. Patriarch, you're finally back. Taoist Master Netherworld went forward and almost knelt on the ground. There's no need for this. Get up. Yes. Taoist Master Netherworld was the Patriarch's disciple a long time ago. After the Patriarch left, he had been the sect leader. Patriarch, who are these two? He looked at Yi Chen and Wu Shuang behind the Patriarch and asked. These two are your seniors, especially fellow Yi. He's a supreme almighty. Do you understand? Huh? I see. I'm blind. Taoist Master Netherworld hurriedly bowed after hearing the Patriarch's introduction. May I know your name, senior? Yi Chen, this is Yi Wu Shuang. Yi Chen said. Welcome, seniors. This way, please. Yi Chen nodded slightly and entered the Netherworld sect. Many people did not know the Patriarch after entering the Netherworld sect. After Taoist Master Netherworld introduced them, everyone bowed to the Patriarch and Yi Chen. What's going on? What happened after I left 3,000 feet of the Netherworld? The Patriarch was very dissatisfied with the current situation of the Netherworld sect. He angrily scolded Taoist Master Netherworld. Patriarch, it's all because of my incompetence. Taoist Master Netherworld burst into tears again, and then told them what happened after the Patriarch left. It turned out that after the Patriarch of Netherworld left 3,000 feet of the Netherworld, his enemies came to him. Not only did they humiliate the Netherworld sect, but they even took over the entire 3,000 feet of the Netherworld, turning the Netherworld sect from the most glorious sect to the most humiliated sect below 3,000 feet of the Netherworld. Damn it! The Patriarch slammed the table and stood up. He could not contain his anger. How could the Netherworld sect that he had personally created endure such humiliation? Patriarch, please calm down. The area below 3,000 feet of the Netherworld is completely under the North Nether sect's control. We're being humiliated by the people of the North Nether sect every day. We're just waiting for the Patriarch to return and lead us back to glory. Taoist Master Netherworld continued. But we have to think about this carefully, Patriarch. That bastard North Nether dares to humiliate the Netherworld sect to this extent. I'll definitely kill him. Old Ancestor Yellow Spring was also a hot-tempered person. How could he tolerate such humiliation? He immediately wanted to seek revenge on Taoist North Ming. Rumble. At this moment, a loud bang came from outside the door. The old ancestor flew out and saw that the 3 golden words of the Yellow Spring Gate that he had written had been torn apart. Who dares to touch my Netherworld sect? The Grand Ancestor roared angrily. Ah! Since when did Netherworld sect have such an arrogant person? How dare you shout at me? At this moment a few people walked in from outside. Most of them were conjoint body cultivators, and the person walking in front was a perfected conjoint body cultivator. Yi Chen followed the Patriarch out and saw these people. Each of them was arrogant and domineering. It was obvious that these people were probably the people from the North Nether sect that the Netherworld Taoist mentioned. Who are you? The old ancestor asked. Old thing, you don't even know who I am? Ask that grandson behind you. The leader of the group berated the old ancestor. The old ancestor's eyes turned cold and murderous. This person's tone was too arrogant. Even the Netherworld sect's sect master, the Netherworld Taoist, was called grandson. Such a humiliation was not only to the Netherworld sect and the Netherworld Taoist, but also to the Patriarch of Netherworld. Baiming Qi, don't talk nonsense. We are surrounded by the Supreme Patriarch of Netherworld sect. How dare you speak like this? The Netherworld Taoist couldn't stand it anymore, so he mustered up his courage and said, "Ha, Netherworld Taoist, since when did you become so tough? It seems like it's because of these pieces of trash, right?" Bai Mingqi pointed at Yi Chen and the others and shouted. These words had gone beyond targeting the Acheron sect and involved Yi Chen. Originally, this was an internal matter of the Patriarch, and Yi Chen wanted the Patriarch to solve it himself. However, the person in front of him was so reckless, so why should he show mercy? Feeling Yi Chen's powerful killing intent, the man frowned slightly. "What? You want to fight?" The man locked his cold eyes on Yi Chen. He opened his spiritual eye and found that Yi Chen was only a void refinement stage cultivator. He did not know that Yi Chen had concealed his cultivation base to keep a low profile. "Fight? You don't even have the right to kneel at my feet," Yi Chen said coldly. "What?" Bai Mingqi was completely furious. He did not expect that a mere void refinement stage cultivator would dare to talk to him like this. Yi Chen's cultivation base concealment technique was an ancient secret technique. Even a tribulation stage cultivator would not be able to see through it, let alone a body integration stage cultivator. This person was courting death by provoking Yi Chen. "Brat, if I don't tear you into pieces today, I'm not Bai Mingqi." Bai Mingqi came to the front forcefully and released all the power in his body, locking onto Yi Chen. Seeing this scene, the Netherworld Taoist's heart trembled. He looked at Yi Chen and found that Yi Chen was at the void refinement stage. He did not know how such a low-level person could become the Patriarch Senior, but he was a guest. He did not want Yi Chen to be killed by Bai Mingqi and embarrass the Patriarch. "Bai Mingqi, this person is a guest. Don't mess around." The Patriarch looked at the Netherworld Taoist. The latter saw the look in the Patriarch's eyes and immediately retreated. "Ha ha ha, guest, so what? I'm going to kill you today to show you where you stand." Bai Mingqi charged at Yi Chen wildly with spiritual power all over his body. "Senior brother, kill this piece of trash." "That's right. A mere void refinement stage cultivator wants to fight you, senior brother. How dare this piece of trash try to act cool? He deserves to die." The people from the North Nether sect could not see through Yi Chen's cultivation level. They cheered and waited for Bai Mingqi to kill Yi Chen before celebrating. "Ha ha ha, I'll kill you to establish my prestige today. Die." Hearing the cheers from the people behind him, Bai Mingqi was elated and flew away quickly. "Lowly dog, you've never seen the immensity of heaven and earth. You deserve to die." Yi Chen's eyes turned cold as the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared. Whoosh! He waved his sword fingers as he turned around. Whoosh! The Heavenly Emperor's sword chi streaked across the sky like a meteor chasing after the moon. Its power was unpredictable. Puss! The smile on Bai Mingqi's face suddenly froze as a slicing sound was heard. He was still moving forward. The people behind him did not know what was happening and continued cheering. "Ha ha ha, this brat is dead." At that moment, Bai Mingqi stopped 3 meters before Yi Chen. He stopped moving forward, and the proud smile from earlier was still on his face. He was like a statue. "That's not right." The people from the North Nether sect behind him were stunned. Boom boom boom. At that moment, a head rolled onto the ground. The face with a creepy smile happened to face the people from the North Nether sect. "Huh!" The people of the North Nether sect were all stunned, and their faces were filled with horror. Their senior brother, North Nether Chi, was at the peak of the body synthesis realm. He could even fight an ordinary crossing calamity realm cultivator to a stalemate. End of this chapter. Chapter 1937. Let's go. The people from the North Nether clan saw that the situation was not good and quickly retreated. "Where are you going?" The old ancestor was enraged. Sword chi flew out and instantly, a sword net weaved in front of everyone. "Ah? We're just doing odd jobs and following Bai Mingqi out." This has nothing to do with us. That's right, old ancestor, please show mercy. Many people from the North Nether clan knelt on the ground, not daring to raise their heads. Humph, ants like you aren't worthy of dying in my hands. Go back and tell old Taoist Bei Ming that Patriarch Netherworldly is back. Let him wait for death. Yes, yes. Everyone nodded, not daring to speak loudly. Scram! The old ancestor let out an angry roar, and the disciples of the Dark North sect all fled. Great, that's great. Seeing such a scene, the disciples of Yellow Spring sect cried out in surprise. The old ancestor had returned with 2 powerful seniors. The day of Yellow Spring sect's revival had arrived. They were incomparably elated, and the emotions that had been suppressed for a long time erupted. Senior's foundation is unfathomable. We are impressed. The people from Acheron's sect stepped forward and bowed to Yi Chen. I thought you were a conjoint body cultivator, and weren't a match for Beimingqi. I'm truly ashamed. Taoist Netherworld stepped forward and said, Scoundrel, fellow Yi is a tribulation transcendence almighty, how can she be a body integration cultivator? The Patriarch scolded. Many people from the Acheron sect were puzzled. Yi Chen was only at the void refinement stage. Ha ha, you mortals can't see through fellow Ye's technique. Even if fellow Yi was really at the body integration realm, killing Beimingqi would be a piece of cake, let alone tribulation transcendence realm. Ah? So powerful? Everyone shuddered at the mention of the ancestor's eye. Senior Yi, this junior was blind, please forgive me. Taoist Huang Quan led everyone forward to apologize. It's fine. Yi Chen said. Ha ha ha, I'm back. This time, I'm going to hold a feast for 3 days. Taoist Netherworld, you know. Patriarch Yellow Spring winked at Taoist Yellow Spring, and the latter smiled. Patriarch, don't worry. I'll immediately prepare the maidservants and arrange for them to be in your room tonight. Ha ha ha, you really understand this old man's good intentions. Get ready quickly. Yes, yes. Taoist Huang Quan quickly acted. Amazing. Yi Chen shook his head and walked into the main hall. The people of North Nether sect left the Yellow Spring sect and rushed back to the sect. Sect leader! Sect leader! Those people tumbled and crawled through the gate, shouting at the main hall. Is there a need to panic? At this moment, a person walked out of the main hall. He was burly and had a dark face. He wore a long black robe. It was Taoist Bei Ming. Sect Master, Lord Beimingqi, what happened to him? Speak. He died in the Yellow Spring Gate. What? Old Taoist Bei Ming's brows furrowed in anger. The power of black water erupted from his entire body, and the person in front of him was hit on the spot. That person's entire body was covered in black water. His skin festered, his muscles dissipated, and he turned into a pool of blood on the spot. When the rest of the human realm saw this scene, they were so frightened that they didn't dare to move and didn't make a sound. Who killed Beimingqi? Yes, it's a young man. Someone said boldly. Young man? Which young man from the Yellow Spring sect is so powerful? How dare you lie to me? I'll tear you into pieces. We don't dare to lie to you, sect master. The Patriarch of Yellow Spring returned with 2 people. One of them is that young man. His strength is unfathomable and incomparably powerful. He decapitated Beimingqi with 1 move. Damn it! Taoist Bei Ming raised his palms to the sky. Instantly, heaven and earth shook and the black water filled the space. It was extremely terrifying. If I don't take revenge, I, Taoist Bei Ming, am not a human. His eyes emitted a dark light. Since the Patriarch of Yellow Spring had returned, there was no need for the Yellow Spring sect to stay. His goal was to use the Yellow Spring sect to lure the Patriarch back and then take revenge. Prepare for battle. Yes, sect master. Several generals walked out one after another, ready to fight. On the Yellow Spring sect's side, there was singing and dancing. The Patriarch had returned, and countless beauties came to serve him. Ha ha ha, fellow Yi, this one is beautiful. Why don't you use her? The patriarch winked at Yi Chen. His small eyes rolled around, making Yi Chen speechless. Patriarch, you should keep her for yourself. Yi Chen only had Su Yuhan in his heart. He was not interested in these so-called beauties. The old ancestor was different. As long as she was a woman and didn't look too ugly, it would be easy for her to enjoy herself. Seeing the patriarch touching the beauty and exploring her, causing her to moan repeatedly, the scene was very awkward. Yi Chen and Wu Shuang shook their heads. Come out, patriarch of Yellow Spring. At this moment, curses came from outside. The patriarch's brows furrowed as he flew out. Who is it? Humph, patriarch of Yellow Spring, I'm from the North Nether sect. I'm here to issue a challenge on behalf of my sect master, Taoist Bei Ming. The patriarch of Yellow Spring can't sit still so soon. It seems like the lesson the patriarch taught him back then has been engraved in his heart. Ah, patriarch of Yellow Spring, don't be so arrogant. The sect master will let you die. What a joke. I've returned to make the Yellow Spring sect rise again. The North Nether sect is nothing. Humph, this is a challenge letter. That person threw a letter of challenge at the old ancestor before flying away. The patriarch opened it and saw that it was indeed Taoist Bei Ming's handwriting. Buzz buzz buzz. The words flew up and soon formed Taoist Bei Ming's appearance in midair. Patriarch of Yellow Spring, how dare you kill someone from the North Nether sect? This time, your Yellow Spring sect will be destroyed with you. 3 days later, at the Yellow Spring Battle Mansion, I'm waiting for you to die. Remember, don't even think about escaping. Otherwise, your Yellow Spring sect will be buried with me. In midair, Taoist Bei Ming's shadow kept shouting at the patriarch of Yellow Spring. Damn it! The patriarch was furious. With a slap, the shadow shattered on the spot. Patriarch, what do you think? The Yellow Spring Taoist asked with the experts of the Yellow Spring sect. What do you think? What's there to think about? Fight to the death. Yes. Everyone agreed and listened to the patriarch's arrangements. Hurry up and prepare for battle. Yes. The Yellow Spring Taoist brought everyone to Jingjun to prepare for the battle. At that moment, Yi Chen walked over. Patriarch, who exactly is this Taoist Bei Ming? Fellow Yi, you might not know this, but this person is ruthless. Back then, because I saw too much killing, I used the Yellow Spring seal to stop his development. I didn't expect this kid to break the seal himself. It seems like his cultivation base has increased greatly in the past few hundred years. He wants to take revenge on me. I see. Is the patriarch confident of winning? Ha, I've never been afraid of anyone. Don't worry, fellow Yi. Then we'll see how the patriarch performs. No problem. The patriarch's face was full of smiles. He did not feel nervous at all. Under the patriarch's arrangement, everyone drank for 3 days. The battle was about to begin. End of this chapter. Chapter 1938. Did you guys hear that? The Yellow Spring Old Ancestor has returned. A storm of blood is inevitable in the Yellow Spring Battle Mansion. Yeah, I heard that the Old Ancestor killed the North Nether sect's expert, North Nether Chi, right after he returned. The old Taoist North Nether was furious, and has been wandering around the Yellow Springs Battle Mansion's forces recently. It seems like he's plotting something. This time, let's see if Ancestor still has the courage of the past. Ha, we're just here to watch the show. We'll cheer for whoever wins. Old Taoist Bei Ming has already issued the challenge. The battle is about to begin. In the streets and alleys of the Yellow Springs Battle Mansion, many experts were discussing. They were all waiting to watch a good show. Boom! A violent gale rose and the sun and moon lost their light. Today, the long-awaited battleground of the Yellow Springs Battle Mansion was stirred once again. Dong, dong, dong! The disciples of the North Nether clan cleared the battlefield, and Taoist North Nether arrived on the back of a striped tiger. On the other hand, the North Nether clan had far fewer people. Over the years, Dark North Taoist had dominated the Netherworld battle mansion and gathered most of the experts under his command. There was only one purpose for him to allow the Netherworld sect to continue existing, and that was to lure old ancestor Netherworld back and kill him for revenge. The battlefield was surrounded by mountains, and on top of the mountains sat people from the major forces. Ha ha, I never thought that old ancestor Yellow Spring would really return. That's right. How many years has it been? Who knows where this old man is hiding, making it difficult for us to find him. Don't be careless. We need to see who will win between Patriarch Netherworld and Taoist Dark North. This is the key to our choice. You're right. These so-called big powers were just fence-sitters. They only looked at the winner. On the battlefield, the Netherworld sect and the North Nether sect faced each other. Old Taoist Biming, come out and die. Patriarch Yellow Spring flew toward the North Nether sect. Ah, old ancestor Yellow Spring, you've finally returned. At the same time, Taoist North Ming flew out, releasing the power of darkness all over his body. Black water surrounded his back, ready to attack at any time. You bastard, you've already mastered the black water divine technique? Of course. Do you think I've wasted all these years? Patriarch Yellow Spring, today will be the day you die. Since this is the place for the final battle, I will make sure that your North Nether sect loses convincingly. No problem. With so many big shots here, we can all witness the moment when Netherworld sect's name is erased from history. Taoist Bei Ming waved at the peak, and countless experts responded. He wanted to let old ancestor Yellow Spring understand that the Netherworld sect no longer had the final say in the Netherworld battle mansion, but the North Nether sect. This was to pressure Patriarch Yellow Spring. However, all of this was nothing to him. What he wanted was the head of Taoist North Ming. Everyone, this is a grudge between Acheron sect and North Nether sect. I hope all of you can see it clearly. Don't worry, Patriarch. We won't interfere with your bloody battle, one of them said with a strange smile. That's right. All of you are important figures. We'll just watch the show. Of course. The name of old ancestor Yellow Spring is so domineering that we dare not interfere. Although everyone said that they would not interfere, the old ancestor had already seen some clues. These people were entangled with old Taoist North Ming. It was hard to say what exactly was going on. Seeing that the old ancestor was hesitating, Yi Chen walked forward. Patriarch, why are you hesitating? With me and Wu Shuang here, do you have anything to worry about? As soon as he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. Who is this brat? How dare he speak so arrogantly? Ha ha, avoid refinement trash dares to pretend. He's courting death. Many powerhouses mocked Yi Chen, but he did not care. What he wanted was to help the old ancestor kill Taoist North Ming and let Acheron sect rise again. Ha ha, you useless trash. How would you know how powerful fellow Yi is? Shut up. The old ancestor scolded everyone. Old ancestor Yellow Spring, don't be arrogant. You're the only one who can rely on avoid refinement trash. Indeed, you're making things difficult for us for a piece of trash. Old ancestor, you're crazy. Old ancestor, you must be cautious in this difficult time. Everyone was clearly threatening because they saw the old ancestor defending an unknown brat at void refinement stage in front of everyone. They were all famous figures, so they could not accept such a contrast. I'll settle the score with you after I kill Taoist North Ming. The old ancestor Yellow Spring naturally understood that the North Nether sect had been able to run amok all these years because of the support of these so-called major forces. They helped the North Nether sect sit on the position of overlord, and then obtained a lot of benefits from the North Nether sect. Ha ha ha, old ancestor, if you say that, there's nothing we can do. Taoist North Ming, we all support you. Yes, we support the North Nether sect. Instantly, countless powerhouses expressed their support for the North Nether sect. They had colluded long ago, but the old ancestor had given them a chance to break the deadlock in advance. ****. The old ancestor was furious, but with a strong enemy in front of him, he could not attack those people. Those people revealed treacherous smiles on their faces, waiting for the old ancestor to die. They knew very well that Taoist North Ming had cultivated the black water divine technique all these years and had succeeded. It was extremely powerful, so the old ancestor would definitely die. Yi Chen's eyes swept in all directions, and all kinds of information entered his mind. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Then, the information turned into images. It was these people's techniques and cultivation base. As long as it could be seen, everything was there. As the saying went, know yourself and know your enemy, and you will win every battle. A bunch of mobs dares to be so brave? Yi Chen sneered and thought to himself. At this moment, many powerhouses from the Netherworld sect and the North Nether sect entered the battlefield. Old Ancestor Netherworld, I'll let you know today that the Netherworld sect has long fallen. As he spoke, Taoist North Ming signaled a powerhouse with his eyes. Remember, kill everyone from the Netherworld sect without mercy. Yes. That person flew onto the battlefield. Netherworld sect, who dares to fight? There was a provocative look on his face, as if he thought that no one from the Netherworld sect dared to accept the challenge. This person was a powerhouse from the North Nether sect, Baiming Feng. His strength was far above Baiming Chi's. He cultivated the black energy divine technique and was Taoist North Ming's favorite disciple. Haha, it's Baiming Feng. This person is ruthless and has killed countless Netherworld sect disciples. No one dares to fight this time. Yes, the Netherworld sect has fallen, ha ha ha. The Netherworld sect is useless. Instantly, countless powerhouses mocked the Netherworld sect. At this moment, the old ancestor was furious and turned to look at everyone. Who dares to fight? As expected, many powerhouses from the Netherworld sect looked at each other, not daring to move. What are you all doing? Taoist Netherworld, what's going on? The old ancestor scolded angrily. Old ancestor, you might not know this, but this person is the god of slaughter of the North Nether sect. He's extremely powerful and ruthless. To this end of this chapter. Chapter 1939. Hearing Taoist Master Netherworld's words, the Patriarch flew into a rage. Since when did we Netherworld sect become so cowardly? The Patriarch's words were extremely domineering. Taoist Master Netherworld dared not speak anymore and could only lower his head. Ha ha ha! At that moment, a mocking laugh came from behind, shaking everyone's hearts. As long as all of you kneel and beg for mercy, I can consider letting you live. Baiming Feng sneered at the people from Netherworld sect with a face full of mockery. In his eyes, everyone in front of him was trash. Baiming Feng. The Patriarch's eyes were cold as anger surged. Patriarch of Netherworld, it seems like no one from your Netherworld sect dares to fight? Or do you want to fight personally? I'm not afraid of you. Baiming Feng stretched out his arms again, as if he had won. Ha ha ha! Many powerhouses laughed. Not only the people from North Nether sect, but there were also many people from sects that used to be on good terms with Netherworld sect. Times had changed, and everything was different from when the Patriarch was around. He's just someone who has a death wish. What's there to be afraid of? At that moment, someone walked forward. It was Yi Wushuang. What did you say, you immature brat? Baiming Feng shouted angrily when he heard Yi Wushuang's words. Fellow Yi, there's no need for Wushuang to do anything. I'll take care of this bastard myself, the Patriarch of Netherworld said to Yi Chen. Patriarch, you're the master of Netherworld sect. You don't have to do it yourself. Leave this to me. How can I do that? Why would I say that? Ha ha, fellow Yi is indeed righteous. I'll thank you in advance. I'll watch fellow Yi perform. The Patriarch of Netherworld returned to Netherworld sect's side and glared at Taoist Master Netherworld. Trash, back off. Yes, yes. Taoist Master Netherworld retreated with the people from Netherworld sect. At that moment, Yi Wushuang walked out from the battlefield. Ha ha! The Patriarch of Netherworld has fallen to the point of using a kid to fight? How laughable! The old Taoist priest Bei Ming glanced at Yi Wushuang. He was just a kid on conjoined body. Although it was amazing that he could reach conjoined body at this age, he would be courting death if he fought Bei Ming Feng. Hey hey! Yi Chen suddenly shouted at Taoist Master Bai Ming. Kid, what do you mean? Taoist Master Dark North replied. If you want to fight, let's fight. What's the point of saying so much? Humph, Bai Ming Feng, kill that brat, then kill them all. Old Taoist Bei Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. Since old ancestor Netherworld was back, the revenge could begin. The slim chance of survival that was given to the people of Netherworld sect could be taken back now. Kill. Bai Ming Feng's killing intent exploded as he charged at Yi Wushuang in a frenzy. Zzz. However, Yi Chen's eyes gleamed as the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared above his head. Subsequently, his primordial spirit merged with the sword spirit and merged with Yi Wushuang. Yi Wushuang opened his eyes all of a sudden. He was as cold as the god of death. Even Bai Ming Feng felt a chill in his heart when he saw such a gaze. He was a person with a murderous temperament, but he didn't expect the eyes of the person in front of him to be 100 times colder than his. So. Yi Wushuang moved and arrived before Bai Ming Feng within the blink of an eye. Impossible! Bai Ming Feng was shocked when he saw the scene before him. The speed of the person before him was too ridiculous. Yi Wushuang was a sword spirit. Now that he had Yi Chen's primordial spirit on him, he was essentially Yi Chen now. Kill. Yi Wushuang pointed his finger as he shouted, and a sword chi shot out. Whoosh! The sword chi sliced through the air in the blink of an eye. The sword chi was extremely precise as it was aimed at Bai Ming Feng's throat. So cold. Bai Ming Feng was a person who had lived on the edge of a knife, so he immediately realized how terrifying the person before him was. Relying on his killing instinct, Bai Ming Feng tilted his body and dodged the fatal attack. Whoosh! However, the blade still pierced through his shoulder. It was excruciating. Blood spurted out of his shoulder like a pillar. A single strand of sword chi was actually so powerful. Many experts had seen the truth of it all. Bai Ming Feng, the Grim Reaper of the North Nether Clan, had now met an even more powerful opponent. Moreover, his opponent was unpredictable. Bai Ming Feng, leave your last words. Yi Wushuang's eyes shone with a white gleam as if he was unconscious. It was because he was currently possessed by Yi Chen. What did you say? As the powerful god of death of the North Nether sect, how could Bai Ming Feng be threatened like this? Of course, he would not give in. He wanted to unleash his most powerful ability and kill the person before him to prove his ability. Bai Ming Feng, stop playing around. Kill him. In order to prove how powerful the North Nether sect was, the old Taoist priest did not want to waste any time, so he gave Bai Ming Feng the final order. Yes. Bai Ming Feng turned around and charged after receiving the order. Your time's up. Die. Bai Ming Feng moved at the fastest speed. He could not even blink. Sigh, in the end, that brat is going to die in Bai Ming Feng's hands. He has such a cultivation base at such a young age. He's quite talented, but he shouldn't have offended the North Nether sect. I didn't expect the Patriarch of Hell to find such powerful help. What a pity. Many powerhouses expressed their pity. Many of them even wanted to rope Yi Chen and Yi Wushuang in, but they did not have the chance now. At that moment, Yi Wushuang stood alone in the battlefield like a bronze statue. Such a strange action confused Bai Ming Feng. Coupled with the power of the sword chi earlier, his movements were slowed down by half a beat. What? Yi Chen was the incarnation of the heavenly Dharch. His combat experience was probably 100,000 times that of Bai Ming Feng's. This momentary opportunity was seized by him immediately. Kill! With Yi Wushuang's body, the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared again. It merged with Yi Wushuang's Heavenly Emperor sword body, and its power increased exponentially. Whoosh! A sharp light seemed to pierce through time and space, and the surrounding space stopped instantly. Puss! The sharp light was too fast. Even the splattering blood could not keep up with it. At the same time, when time and space stopped, Yi Wushuang put his sword away and turned his back. Everyone's shocked expression froze in the air. Bai Mingfeng's shocked expression froze in the air, and the old Taoist priest's shocked and distorted face froze in the air. Ah! The old Taoist priest felt as if his body had entered an alternate dimension and became extremely heavy. The feeling made him crazy and furious. Rumble! As Taoist Bei Ming relied on his own foundation to create a powerful explosion, the surrounding space finally returned to normal. Boom, boom, boom! The moment time and space returned to normal, Bai Mingfeng's head rolled onto the ground. Nobody knew how he died. Nobody even saw Yi Wushuang attack. Huh? What happened? A powerhouse asked blankly with his chin drooped. End of this chapter. Chapter 1940. After killing Bai Mingfeng, Yi Chen's primordial spirit returned, and Yi Wushuang fought alone. His majestic appearance shocked many people from the North Nether sect. Bai Mingfeng was the god of slaughter in their sect. He had killed countless powerhouses, and even people on the tribulation stage had been killed by him. Now, a mere conjoined body had killed Bai Mingfeng. This young man clearly had an extraordinary background. Even the Patriarch of Hell felt that something was wrong. Patriarch of Hell, who is this? How dare he kill a powerhouse from my sect? The Patriarch of Hell questioned. Ha ha ha, this is fellow Ye's disciple. Although his cultivation base is only at conjoined body, it's more than enough to kill trash like you. He also sensed that Yi Chen's primordial spirit was attached to his body, making Yi Wushuang invincible. With Yi Chen's sword technique, killing Bai Mingfeng was too easy. However, he would not say that out loud. Now that the North Nether sect was shocked, everyone might have lingering fear. Don't think that you can scare the North Nether sect just like that. Patriarch of Hell, let's end our grudge today. Very well, Patriarch of Hell. You're a treacherous person. You deserve to die here. The two of them were at odds with each other. Seeing that the Patriarch was about to fight, Yi Chen reminded, Patriarch, this person has hidden his strength well. Don't be careless. Don't worry. I know this brat's previous level very well. I'll kill him directly this time. The Patriarch was determined to kill. Previously, this Patriarch of Hell was his mortal enemy. Back then, the Patriarch had let this guy go. Never had he thought that he would make a comeback today and dare to bully the Hell sect. He must take revenge. Kill. The Patriarch of Hell attacked. Several dark darts appeared in his hand. They flickered with a dark light and contained mysterious rules. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The darts kept flying into the air. Just as the Patriarch was about to dodge, he realized that the darts had disappeared. The Patriarch was stunned and confused. Patriarch, watch out! Yi Chen warned, but it was too late. The darts flew out of the alternate space and attacked the Patriarch of Hell. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. 3 darts flew at him at the same time. Patriarch Yellow Spring reacted immediately, but he still could not dodge all of them. Fresh blood flowed from the old ancestor's shoulder. Just as the old ancestor was about to attack, he realized that the dart was poisoned. Poison! Ha ha ha, old ancestor Yellow Spring, you claim to have come from hell, but you've actually been poisoned. Seeing that Patriarch Yellow Spring was poisoned, Dark North Taoist kept smiling, feeling very proud. Damn it! The Grand Ancestor was furious. Underworld's sword appeared in his hand again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The Yellow Spring's sword chi traveled in all directions, piercing through countless walls and heading straight for Taoist North Ming. Humph, insignificant tricks. Taoist Bei Ming snorted coldly and didn't care at all. Transform. Taoist North Ming threw out a pair of dark golden alms bowls, which collided with each other in midair. Boom! Immediately, a shock wave swept through the space, shattering all the underworld's sword chi. The old ancestor was shocked. He didn't expect Dark North Daoist's strength to improve so quickly. Before the rescue, the old ancestor had defeated Dark North Daoist. At that time, Dark North Daoist was not talented and had a wicked mind. The old ancestor only taught him a lesson and didn't kill him. He didn't expect that he would become so powerful now. How is this possible? The old ancestor was puzzled. Ha ha ha, old ancestor Yellow Spring, I'm not here to get rid of you today. I'm here for revenge. Dark North Daoist laughed. Finally, he had the chance to get revenge. Today, he would pay back the humiliation he received from the old ancestor. Die, old ancestor Yellow Spring. The old ancestor flew out, holding the golden alms bowl with both hands, and kept hitting it in the air. Boom! The golden alms bowl made strange noises, constantly shaking the space, forming shock waves that went straight for the old ancestor. Underworld Sword, Hell Change. The old ancestor was enraged and released a great divinity. The Yellow Springs Hell appeared in the world again. Sword Chi whistled, and wind and thunder appeared in the sky. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. The power of wind and thunder combined with the Yellow Springs Chi descended. Boom! However, when the sword Chi came into contact with the shock waves from the golden alms bowl, it naturally collapsed and turned into nothingness. This is impossible. The old ancestor was shocked. He could not understand what was going on in front of him. What special ability did the golden alms bowl have to make his underworld sword Chi ineffective? Ha ha ha, old ancestor Yellow Spring, your end is here. After you die, I'll completely destroy the Netherworld sect. The entire Netherworld battle mansion will belong to my North Nether sect. Ha! Dark North Daoist had completely gained the upper hand, and the old ancestor Yellow Spring was in danger. Meanwhile, the powerhouses who were watching the show chose to side with the North Nether sect. After all, it was the North Nether sect that had been informing the Netherworld battle mansion for a long time. Since the old ancestor Yellow Spring could not defeat Dark North Daoist, the Netherworld sect would definitely be completely destroyed in the future. They could only listen to the North Nether sect's arrangements. The old ancestor Yellow Spring can't hold on any longer. This time, Sage Master North Nether will definitely win. That's right. The old ancestor has left the Netherworld battle mansion for so many years, and he's going to be defeated when he comes back. What a pity! Martial Tao disciples walk against the current. If they don't advance, they'll fall behind. The old ancestor can't hold on any longer. The crowd only saw the result, and they could not see the key at all. Yi Chen's eyes were sharp and his fiery eye was watching. From the pair of golden alms bowls, he sensed the rule that surpassed the heavenly tribulation. The power was engraved into the golden alms bowls through some kind of formation veins. As long as Dark North Daoist knew how to activate the veins' power, the golden alms bowls could unleash a power that surpassed his own. That was the reason why Dark North Daoist seemed to be invincible. Although these veins are exquisite, they pale in comparison to the 8 divine veins. However, the old ancestor isn't familiar with the martial art of veins, so it's impossible for him to be his match. Yi Chen knew what Dark North Daoist was relying on at a glance. At the same time, Dark North Daoist was going to kill the old ancestor. Netherworld Sword, slash. The old ancestor channeled all of his origin power, wanting to stake it all on this one attack. Ha ha ha, it's useless. Dark North Daoist released the golden alms bowl's power again. Boom. The powerful force instantly shattered the Netherworld sword chi, and the old ancestor was defeated again. The old ancestor spat out a mouthful of blood. The blood poison had attacked his heart, and he could no longer fight. Go to hell. Kill. Dark North Daoist seized the opportunity, and attacked the Old Ancestor Yellow Spring at the same time. Old Ancestor. At the critical moment, Yi Chen moved and arrived next to the Old Ancestor within the blink of an eye. Go! Yi Chen pointed his sword finger, and the Heavenly Emperor's sword Qi shot out. It contained the 8 divine veins, and it was extremely exquisite. Ha! It's still sword Qi. Shatter! Dark North Taoist had no idea what was going on, so he wanted to use the golden alms bowls to destroy the sword Qi. However, the golden alms bowls bounced back the moment they came into contact with the sword Qi. Clang, clang, clang. The sound of metal clashing was heard, and sparks flew everywhere. Dark North Taoist caught the golden alms bowls forcefully while his body trembled as he retreated dozens of steps. Huh! Everyone was shocked. End of this chapter. Chapter 1941. The golden alms bowl was Dark North Taoist priest's foundation, so he had to take it by force. However, the moment he touched it, he felt a sharp pain coming from his hand. It was a heart-wrenching pain. How is that possible? Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the recoil from Yi Chen's sword Qi was too powerful, the golden alms bowl kept shaking. Dark North Taoist priest's hands were shaking as if he had encountered the recoil from a super powerhouse's internal energy. The situation had completely exceeded Dark North Taoist priest's expectations. Naturally, he was shocked. You're using a pair of golden alms bowls to harm others. Just as the patriarch said, you're a cunning person. Yi Chen glared at Dark North Taoist priest coldly. Every word he said was a provocation and mockery. Everyone was shocked to hear that and see what happened. Elder Taoist Bei Ming was someone who could suppress the Patriarch of Hell, and it was a huge advantage. The Patriarch of Hell was a tribulation stage cultivator, but he was still no match for Elder Taoist Bei Ming. However, everyone saw that Yi Chen's cultivation base was at the conjoint body stage, which was the same as the young man from before. Humph, you're definitely not a conjoint body. You're suppressing your cultivation base. That's for sure. Dark North Taoist priest roared. He absolutely did not believe that Yi Chen was only a conjoint body. However, to him, even if Yi Chen was a tribulation stage cultivator, it was impossible for him to fight the golden alms bowl. What exactly went wrong? Without the golden alms bowl, you're a piece of trash. Yi Chen did not respond to Dark North Taoist priest's roar. Instead, he continued to pressure him with words. Damn it, even if you're a tribulation stage cultivator, you're still a corpse to me. Suddenly, Dark North Taoist priest's body cracked, and a black battle armor appeared on him. At the same time, his foundation increased crazily, reaching complete tribulation stage. Yi Chen's eyes were cold. Although he knew that Dark North Taoist priest's golden alms bowl had a history, he did not expect Dark North Taoist priest to elevate his cultivation base to such a level with the concealment formation in the alms bowl. Huh! Everyone was shocked. A complete tribulation stage cultivator was definitely a super powerhouse among them. It was a level where one could truly undergo the tribulation stage and become an immortal. It was too terrifying. Rumble! At that moment, the surrounding space was compressed rapidly. The golden alms bowl kept vibrating, releasing a powerful force. Countless powerhouses were shocked and dared not move. Ha ha ha! Taoist Bei Ming continued to laugh wildly, and a powerful cyclone appeared around his body. There was even the power of thunder stirring, which was a sign of the great perfection of the tribulation transcendence. See how strong this sovereign's foundation is? Brat, no matter who you are, no matter how deep you've hidden your cultivation, it's all useless now. This sovereign is definitely above you, and with the support of the golden alms bowl, death is your only ending. Then let me see what you've got. Yi Chen glared at Taoist Master North Ming coldly and activated his golden pupil flame. Immediately, he saw a layer of light that ordinary people could not see surrounding Taoist Master North Ming's body. The light was similar to the light on the golden alms bowl, but it was hidden under the black battle armor. These rays of light contained demonic patterns. These demonic patterns were different from ordinary demonic patterns. They contained exquisite formations that could forcibly raise Taoist Darknorth's cultivation, and the source of the power transmitted by these demonic patterns was the golden alms bowl. Ha ha ha, brat, you're too conceited. Die. Taoist Master Northming was furious. He was a super powerhouse who had controlled the Netherworld Battle Mansion for many years. Today, he encountered an unknown brat blocking his way. This was a humiliation in itself. If he did not kill the enemy before him, he would not be able to survive in the Netherworld Battle Mansion anymore. Seeing such a powerful Taoist Master Northming, everyone thought that Yi Chen was done for this time. Sigh, he's a genius to be able to force Taoist Master Northming back. But facing Taoist Master Northming, who has raised his cultivation to such a level, Yi Chen is doomed. Not only is he doomed, but he'll die in the most brutal way possible. You all know how Taoist Master Northming treats his enemies. That's right, what a pity for this brat. Everyone shook their heads. Although they had submitted to Taoist Master Northming, they still had some complaints about him, but they dared not say it out loud. Taoist mysterious method, apprehension. Taoist Master Northming's body emitted a black glow as dark whirlwinds spun around him. They rose and turned into a tornado. Subsequently, countless bird cries were heard. Countless black cranes charged at Yi Chen like arrows that left the bow. Yi Chen smirked slightly, and the space-time wrath suddenly appeared behind him. Roar! An earth-shattering roar was heard, and a dark abyss appeared before Yi Chen. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! The whirlpool in the dark abyss spun rapidly, and an irresistible absorption force erupted. Countless black cranes were completely absorbed by this dark whirlpool. Huh! Seeing that not only did his divinity not cause any harm, but it was also being absorbed by Yi Chen directly, Yi Chen was too arrogant. You be **starred, how dare you absorb my divinity? Great, you're dead, ha ha. Although he thought that Yi Chen would definitely be attacked by the black cranes and be poisoned to death, it was extremely shocking that Yi Chen could directly absorb the great divinity that he released through the Taoist Master Northming's mysterious method. Many powerhouses of the Taoist Master Northming were shocked by Yi Chen, but when they heard Taoist Master Northming say that Yi Chen would definitely be poisoned to death, they began to shout, "Yi Chen must die, Yi Chen must die." Countless people shouted and roared. The more they shouted, the more guilty they felt because the great divinity of the killer move was directly absorbed. Such a scene had never happened before. Taoist Master Northming, how dare an ant like you criticize the Heavenly Emperor's actions? The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly. Suddenly, the huge figure behind him stomped his feet. Rumble! The ground shook and cracked. The Taoist Master Northming disciples who shouted, "Yi Chen must die," earlier were floating in the air. Ah, what's going on? No, let me go. What is this? Can't we resist this kind of power? Countless Taoist Master Northming's bodies floated in the air involuntarily. Subsequently, they began to spin in the air. Such a scene made Taoist Master Northming feel incredulous. Get down here. Taoist Master Northming released the power of the Golden Alms Bowl, trying to destroy Yi Chen's whirlpool formation. However, when the Golden Alms Bowl approached the whirlpool, it was repelled. It kept making vibrating noises and cracks even appeared on the Golden Alms Bowl, making Taoist Master Northming's heart tremble. This Golden Alms Bowl was his foundation. Once the Golden Alms Bowl broke, not only would he lose the ability to use the super divinity, but his foundation would also plummet. All of this was under Yi Chen's control. Kacha, kacha, kacha! Hiss, hiss, hiss! As everyone watched in shock, the bodies of the Taoist Master Northming disciples floating in the air were torn apart. Their bones shattered, and their flesh and blood splattered everywhere. Today is the 11th of February, 2021 in the Gregorian calendar, which is also the 30th day of the 12th lunar month. Gushan wishes everyone a happy New Year's Eve and good luck in the year of the ox. May your family be happy and everything goes well. I also thank everyone for accompanying me and supporting me until now. End of this chapter. Chapter 1942. You dare to kill my North Nether sex disciple? North Nether shouted angrily. Ha, why wouldn't an ant like you dare? Killing you is like slaughtering a chicken or a dog. Yi Chen sneered. He did not take North Nether seriously at all. His arrogance shocked everyone. Now, no one dared to say anything bad about Yi Chen. Even those who mocked Yi Chen and thought he was useless knelt on the ground and began worshipping him. They knew that it was too easy for these powerful people to kill them. Moreover, they must have heard what they said earlier. This was their only chance to survive. They could not give up their pride in martial Tao and do such a thing. B*****, I'm in charge of the Netherworld Battle Mansion. Die, you juniors! North Nether completely unleashed his power. The super-strong power of a great retribution stage shook heaven and earth and reversed the universe. However, the person in front of him was the ruler of the sky, the king of the sun and the moon. Facing such an existence, it was useless even if he had heaven-defying power. Golden Alms Bowl. North Nether realized that not only was the person in front of him not at the conjoint body stage, but his cultivation base was not lower than his. He was a great retribution stage powerhouse. Such an old monster could not be killed without unleashing his ultimate power. Rumble. The North Nether mysterious technique kept improving his foundation. North Nether decided to stake it all and completely released the demonic pattern formation in the Golden Alms Bowl. Hiss hiss hiss. Countless demonic patterns appeared on North Nether's body, turning him into a demon general. Ha ha ha! North Nether laughed maniacally. He had clearly lost his mind and was controlled by the demonic energy. The people from the other forces in the Netherworld Battle Mansion finally understood that North Nether's power was demonic energy. How is this possible? This guy is from the demon race? It doesn't look like it. I think he's controlled by the demon race. This guy defected to the demon race. We definitely can't follow him. When everyone saw North Nether's demonic body, some cultivators with backbone began to draw a line with him. They began to support Yi Chen. After all, Yi Chen could force North Nether to this step. Obviously, he was an almighty. Yi Chen is our hope. Kill these demons and free the battle mansion. Kill the demonic dwellers and free the Yellow Springs battle mansion. In an instant, countless people from various forces switched sides and supported Yi Chen. This caused many powerhouses of the North Nether sect to feel waves of pressure. They did not expect that the North Nether Taoist had obtained his strength from the demon clan. If this went on, they would be too ashamed to show their faces. We support Yi Chen. Finally, many of the North Nether sect's combatants switched sides. They stood on the crowd side and supported Yi Chen. Ha ha ha, old Taoist Dark North, you've worked so hard for your entire life, yet you've ended up like this. How do you feel? Yi Chen asked while looking at Master Dark North. Yi Chen, I must kill you today. I'll deal with these pieces of trash after I kill you. Old Taoist Master Dark North's domineering aura reverberated in all directions. Many people were terrified when they heard that. They were contemplating if they should escape immediately. After all, to them, Yi Chen was not a sure winner. If Yi Chen lost to old Taoist Master Dark North, they would all be doomed. Therefore, many people left the battlefield in advance. However, they were blocked by waves of powerful magical energy halfway. It's too late for you to escape now. Old Taoist Master Dark North activated his magical energy and extended his demonic claws, instantly grabbing those cultivators who wanted to leave. Those people revealed a terrified expression and began to beg for mercy. Old Taoist Master Dark North, we were confused. Please forgive us. Old Taoist Master Dark North, we're willing to follow you to kill Yi Chen. Those fence-sitters began to fall with the wind again. They begged for mercy and flattered him. However, old Taoist Master Darknorth was already controlled by the magical energy. His murderous nature could not be contained, so he did not listen to their explanations at all. Kill. Gotcha. With a series of cracking sounds, those cultivators' bodies exploded one after another. Blood flowed like a river. Ah! Old Taoist Master Darknorth laughed maniacally. Killing made him extremely excited. Naturally, Yi Chen would not save these fence-sitters. They dug their own fates, so they had to bear the consequences themselves. Seeing so many cultivators die in old Taoist Master Darknorth's hands, more people fell into panic. However, they still endured it because old Taoist Master Darknorth had gone crazy. They did not want to repeat the same mistake. Yi Chen, it's your turn. Old Taoist Master Darknorth locked his cold eyes on Yi Chen as a sinister and vicious smile appeared at the corner of his lips. As such, everyone was shocked at the same time because if Yi Chen died in old Taoist Master Darknorth's hands, they would also be killed. Yi Chen, you must hold on. Yi Chen, kill this demon. Our hopes are all on you. Countless cultivators looked at Yi Chen with longing eyes. Clearly, he had become their savior. However, Yi Chen did not care about these people's pleas at all. What he wanted was for the Acheron sect to rise again and for the Patriarch to regain his glory. It's time to end this, old Taoist Master Darknorth. Yi Chen's eyes emitted a hellish cold gleam. At that moment, he was the god of death from hell, ruling over everything. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As rays of light bloomed, the sword of judgment appeared in Yi Chen's hand again, the heavenly emperor's sword. Ha ha, Yi Chen, this sword is indeed extraordinary. It looks like it might even be comparable to an immortal weapon, but so what? It's just trash in your hands. I've absorbed the power of the demon Venerable. I'm invincible now. Die. Old Taoist Master Darknorth was very confident in his foundation. This was the power of the demon Venerable that he obtained from the golden alms bowl with his blood and sacrifice. He did not believe that he could not kill a mere Yi Chen with his great Ascension Tribulation Foundation and the power of the demon Venerable. However, he had miscalculated. The mere Yi Chen before him was a supreme existence that he could not look up to. Demonic killing technique, die. Old Taoist Master Darknorth could not hold back his anger anymore. He released the most powerful killing ray, which was the demonic killing technique formation. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The formation turned into an ultimate weapon and attacked Yi Chen. Everyone was shocked as they stared at the battlefield. Old Taoist Master Darknorth's foundation was too strong. With the support of the demonic killing technique, could Yi Chen withstand it? Even more people thought that Yi Chen could not hold on any longer and that everything was going to end. Even the Patriarch stood up and stared at the battlefield coldly. Although he believed in Yi Chen, his opponent's absolute ability was too powerful. This was a battle to the death. Facing such a great killing technique, Yi Chen's eyes were slightly cold. He slowly raised the Heavenly Emperor's sword in his hand and subsequently aimed at old Taoist Master Darknorth's huge figure that was charging at him. No second sun in the sky. Chapter 1943. The flames of war reached the sky and the ground was frozen. At that moment, the most magnificent scene appeared on the battlefield. At the same time, Taoist Master Bei Ming stood a step away from Yi Chen. His huge body was like a demonic beast, but he was motionless at that moment. His entire body was sealed in ice. His body was like an ice sculpture, but within the ice sculpture, flames were burning. Everyone's jaws dropped to the ground like wooden chickens. What kind of divinity is this? It's too shocking, too awesome. It's simply a miracle. Taoist Master Bei Ming is dead? Everyone carefully observed the scene within the ice sculpture, but no matter how they looked, Taoist Master Bei Ming did not move. Only the flames were still burning. Whoosh! Yi Chen put away his sword and walked toward the Acheron sect. Patriarch, I'll leave the rest to you. Fellow Yi, you're truly a god. Ah! The Patriarch was overjoyed. He knew very well that with Taoist Master Bei Ming's current strength, he would definitely not be able to defeat him. However, before Yi Chen, Taoist Master Bei Ming was just an ant. That was the difference between them. Where are the people of the North Nether sect? The Patriarch flew out and berated them forcefully. What? The people of the North Nether sect who had supported Taoist Master Bei Ming earlier knelt on the ground, not daring to move. We're willing to be punished. Please spare our lives, Patriarch. That's right. Please forgive us, Patriarch. We're willing to do anything for the Acheron sect. We'll never be disloyal. Many North Nether sect disciples knelt on the ground, begging for the Patriarch's forgiveness. How did you bully the disciples of the Acheron sect before? At that moment, the Patriarch called an Acheron sect disciple over. Patriarch, these beasts have gone too far. We can't forgive them. The disciple said fiercely. Very well. How did they bully you before? Fight back now. Yes, fight back. Countless Acheron sect disciples ran over and attacked the North Nether sect disciples. Soon, the North Nether sect disciples were bruised and swollen. They did not look human anymore. However, this was already a good result for them. As long as they did not die, they were willing to accept any punishment. Great, the Acheron sect is invincible. The Yellow Spring Gate is supreme. In just a short moment, many forces that were suppressing Yellow Spring sect and supporting Nether North sect had now completely supported Yellow Spring sect. This was the underworld. You lowly people, shut up! The old ancestor shouted angrily. No one dared to speak again, and they all shut up. From today onwards, the Netherworld sect will seize control of the Netherworld battle mansion again. I, the Patriarch of Netherworld, will take the initiative to give the position of the Lord of Netherworld to fellow Taoist Yi. In the future, when you see fellow Taoist Yi, it will be the same as seeing the Lord of Netherworld. Kneel and worship. Yes. After all, Yi Chen's ability was too powerful. He had easily killed the old Taoist priest North Sea, whose demonic energy had gone berserk. No one could stop his might. Ha, fellow Yi, are you satisfied with this honor? The Patriarch asked Yi Chen. Patriarch, you know that I'm not interested in these things. This time, I'm just helping the Netherworld sect revive, Yi Chen said. Of course I know, but I still want the status that I should have. After all, without you, the 3,000 feet of Netherworld would have fallen into the hands of the demon clan. However, this old Taoist priest North Sea has such strength. He must have received help from a demon world almighty. If we don't investigate this matter clearly, I'm afraid that there will be endless danger below the 3,000 feet of Netherworld. What the Patriarch said was exactly what Yi Chen was worried about. He could tell at a glance that it was impossible for the old Taoist priest North Sea to reach such a level with his own talent and foundation. This could be seen when the old Taoist priest North Sea lost the power of the golden alms bowl and his figure instantly dispersed. Patriarch, I'll handle this matter. You should revive the Netherworld sect immediately. Thank you, fellow Yi. The Patriarch nodded slightly and personally led the team to reorganize the major forces in the Netherworld battle mansion. All of them were under the Netherworld sect's leadership. Subsequently, Yi Wushuang and the Patriarch returned to the Netherworld sect together, while Yi Chen visited various places in the Netherworld battle mansion. After a day of visiting, Yi Chen knew every corner of the Netherworld battle mansion like the back of his hand. However, he did not find a place where the demonic energy was hidden. This meant that if there was really a mastermind behind this, he must have already known about what happened here and concealed his whereabouts. Netherworld battle mansion, 3,000 feet of abyss. Yi Chen walked to the edge of the abyss and looked down. The endless darkness was like the mouth of a giant beast, constantly devouring people's consciousness. Ordinary people would fall into it and sacrifice themselves if they looked at it. However, Yi Chen's mind power was so powerful and his ancient god body was unparalleled. There was no harm even after looking at it many times. However, Yi Chen did not see any information from the abyss. Yi Chen's eyes were slightly cold. The power in his body shook as he activated the golden pupil flame. The true Samadhi fire rushed into the abyss. The flames soared into the sky, illuminating a radius of 1,000 miles. However, Yi Chen still could not see the bottom of the abyss. This abyss is unusual. He immediately realized that the netherworld abyss before him was definitely not an ordinary natural structure. It was very likely that this was the key to the chaos in the netherworld battle mansion. All of a sudden, Yi Chen seemed to have heard a strange sound. It sounded like breathing. The sound was heavy like a pulse, stirring the air in the netherworld abyss. This strange phenomenon made Yi Chen even more certain that there must be a secret in the netherworld abyss. Could this be the source of demons? Demonic patterns bloomed on Yi Chen's right hand. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Demonic energy continuously gathered in Yi Chen's hand. Subsequently, he released a demonic energy shockwave that rushed down 3,000 feet. Rumble! A loud tremor sounded, but the 3,000 feet was like a huge vortex that devoured everything. Soon, the demonic energy that Yi Chen released disappeared without a trace. This is too strange. It seems like I need to ask the Patriarch for information. Yi Chen did not act blindly. Instead, he quickly returned to the netherworld gate to look for the Patriarch. After all, this was the Patriarch's previous cultivation place. He had been here for who knew how many years, so he must know something. When he returned to the netherworld gate, what he saw was not a cultivator but 8 scantily dressed maids. They all bowed to Yi Chen. "Welcome, Lord of Netherworld." When they bowed at the same time, their figures could be seen clearly. It was a spectacular scene. At a glance, Yi Chen knew that this was the Patriarch's doing. Sigh. He could only shake his head helplessly. The maids directly stuck to him and asked questions, making Yi Chen annoyed. Rumble! Suddenly Yi Chen was enraged. His divine power shook, and the 8 women were scared silly on the spot. They retreated one after another. Ha ha ha, fellow Yi, why bother with them? The Patriarch walked out and said with a laugh. Patriarch, your taste needs to be improved. Fellow Yi, you're surprised. These beauties all have top-notch figures. They're the Patriarch's favorite type. Why don't I find you something different? Don't. Chapter 1944. Patriarch, I found an abyss at the edge of the netherworld battle mansion. Do you know about it? Abyss? Hearing this, the Patriarch of Hell frowned slightly as if he thought of something. Could it be the netherworld abyss? The Patriarch could only think of this mysterious place that could interest Yi Chen. Patriarch, it's here. Do you know the origin of this place? Well, the Patriarch brought Yi Chen into the hall and the two sat down. The netherworld abyss existed before the netherworld battle mansion was formed. We've explored it before, but there was no news. For many years, there was no movement in the abyss. In the end, it was sealed and forgotten by everyone. Why are you mentioning it now, fellow Yi? Sealed? I don't think the abyss was completely sealed. At that time we did seal it completely. Could it be? The Patriarch was shocked. It seemed that the abyss was automatically unsealed. Patriarch, let's go back and take a look. That's what I was thinking. Yi Chen and the Patriarch flew out and headed straight for the netherworld abyss. The two of them arrived at the abyss. At this time, the ground was restless and demonic energy surged, soaring into the sky. Such a scene, what's underground? Seeing such a scene, the Patriarch was shocked. When he was in the netherworld battle mansion, nothing like this had happened. This energy is demonic energy. There must be something mysterious under this abyss. Fellow Yi, what do you plan to do? I thought the Patriarch knew about this abyss and wanted to ask, but now it seems like I can only explore it myself. Is it dangerous? Ha, why should I, Yi Chen, be afraid? Ha ha ha, that's true. Fellow Yi, there's nothing to worry about. The patriarch laughed. Yi Chen let the patriarch take the back while he flew down the abyss. The abyss was chaotic. As Yi Chen flew down, the deeper he went, the more he felt that the rules of the surrounding environment were completely different from the outside world. Here, the pressure on the body was extremely great. At the same time, there were all kinds of strange demonic energy interference. Ordinary people would only die if they came down. If Yi Chen had not cultivated both immortality and demonic energy, it would not have been so easy. Hiss hiss hiss. Yi Chen continued to descend. The depth of the abyss surprised him. Although he was prepared, it was still much deeper than he expected. Boom. As Yi Chen went deeper into the ground shook and the space reverberated. The density of Pandora demon energy gradually soared. Gradually, even Yi Chen felt pressured. This was a very rare occurrence. The demonic energy here is so pure, and it even contains a strange law. What is it? Yi Chen had fought with the demonic realm and even the people of the demonic world. He knew very well that the Pandora demon energy here was completely different from the Pandora demon energy in those people's bodies. The Pandora demon energy here was filled with absolute destructive power. It was terrifying and breathtaking. Ah! The deeper Yi Chen went, the more disturbed he felt. He quickly activated the ancient god heart cultivation method to stabilize his spirit. Boom! Suddenly, the earth split open, and lava flew into the air. Lava! Yi Chen waved his sword fingers and sword chi shot out. Countless lava was cut by the sword chi and fell. Phew! At this moment, the sound of heavy breathing could be heard. It was strange, drawn out, and carried a heavy pressure. Yi Chen's eyes turned slightly cold. He activated his golden pupil flame and looked around. But he didn't find anything strange, but this breathing sound was definitely real. What was it, and where was it hiding? Roar! Suddenly, a huge roar came from the deepest part of the ground, shaking the space and making Yi Chen's ears feel uncomfortable. Humph! Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. He gathered ancient god power in his sword fingers and pointed downward. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The ancient god's sword chi rushed to the bottom, its majestic power shaking the earth. Boom! The ancient god's sword chi was condensed by the supreme ancient god power. The law within it was already heaven-defying, so naturally, it was not restricted by any other law. It broke through the energy protection at the bottom, and the rumble shook thousands of miles. Roar! It seemed to be heavily injured by the ancient god's sword chi. The roar below became even more violent. Following that, powerful energy rushed out from the ground and attacked Yi Chen. Yi Chen smirked slightly. It seemed that his sword chi had worked. Break. One word, break. Subsequently, the space behind Yi Chen roared angrily, and the majestic power instantly shattered the lava attack. Which evil creature is it? Show yourself! Yi Chen shouted. Roar! At this time, following the loud roar, the surrounding space suddenly changed. Among the countless changes, Yi Chen finally arrived at the underground hall. Roar! At this time, the three-headed hellhound appeared in front of Yi Chen. Yi Chen was greatly shocked, thinking that he had sensed the aura of the nether purgatory. This was closely related to Suyuhan, so how could he not be shocked? Evil creature! Is this really the entrance to the nether purgatory? He ignored the danger and went forward to question. Roar! However, the three-headed hound did not respond at all. Instead, it opened its huge mouth to swallow Yi Chen. You're courting death! Yi Chen attacked angrily. With a point of his sword fingers, a sharp sword gleam slashed across. The three-headed hound was injured by the sword gleam and blood flowed out. However, the blood seemed to have triggered the three-headed hound's murderous nature. It frantically bit at Yi Chen. Evil creature, if you don't respond, I'll crush you like an ant. The heavenly emperor's shadow appeared behind Yi Chen. In an instant, even the incomparably violent hellhound was intimidated. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh! The hellhound kept retreating as if it was very afraid of the heavenly emperor's shadow. Still not showing yourself? Yi Chen's eyes glowed. The golden pupil fiery eyes had already discovered that the hellhound was just an illusion and the real controller was here. Ha ha ha! At this moment, a strange and drawn-out laughter rang out. A skinny and tall monster walked out. His legs were like bamboo poles, his body was extremely slender, and his face was very repulsive. It was very strange. Who are you? How can you come to the 3,000 feet of the netherworld? This is the real 3,000 feet of the netherworld? Yi Chen asked doubtfully. If not here, where is it? Is there another 3,000 feet of the netherworld? The old man's question made Yi Chen nod slightly. Yes, he had heard that the place above was called 3,000 feet of the netherworld. It might just be a rumor. What's the relationship between the 3,000 feet of the netherworld and the nether purgatory? Nether purgatory? The old man looked at Yi Chen coldly. You actually know about the nether purgatory? How can I not know? I have a close relationship with the nether purgatory. Answer my question immediately. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. He did not want to waste time. Why must I answer your question? The other party did not cooperate. Yi Chen was furious. This was related to Su Yuhan's current situation. He must not let any accidents happen. End of chapter. Chapter 1945. Ha ha ha, young man, don't be too arrogant and conceited. This is my home ground. The old man laughed coldly, as if he was very confident in his own strength. At the same time, the surroundings changed rapidly, and the entire image of hell slowly appeared. Boundless nether energy began to occupy the space. Really? The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly as the heavenly emperor's silhouette appeared behind him. Boom! The light of the heavenly emperor illuminated the entire space. In an instant, the might of an ancient god swept out for 1,000 miles. Even the mysterious underworld energy was suppressed. This is impossible. A look of disbelief appeared on the elder's face. Just who was this young man in front of him? Why did he have such might? What was that supreme might he exuded? Before the nether prison, you have to bow your head. The patriarch was enraged. He unleashed even more powerful nether force in an attempt to completely destroy Yi Chen's martial will. However, it was all in vain. Ancient god power burst forth from Yi Chen's body. In his Vajra mode, Yi Chen was impervious to all poisons. The nether prison poison energy in the surrounding space couldn't get close to him. Gay dog, how dare you disrespect the heavens? Yi Chen's eyes released the true samadhi fire and the surrounding space burned rapidly. The old man turned pale with fright and quickly retreated. Damn it! The old man summoned the three-headed hellhound again to attack Yi Chen. Whoosh! Yi Chen's body soared into the air instantly. The ninth heaven trampling steps was extremely exquisite. The hellhounds could not lock onto him. Heavenly Dharch sword, universe severing. Yi Chen's superb insight and rich experience as a Zhuohan allowed him to seize the opportunity and slash through the air. Boom! Kacha, kacha, kacha! Under the celestial Dharch sword, the Cerberus was shattered on the spot and turned into nothingness. Ah! The gatekeeper of the nether purgatory had never seen such a powerful force before. He had used underworld energy to observe the movements of the surrounding environment and even made a contract with someone, granting him the power of underworld runes so that he could kill everyone and become the overlord of the netherworld battle mansion. However, he was completely defeated by Yi Chen. Tell me the truth, or I'll kill you without mercy. With the heavenly emperor's sword in his hand, Yi Chen looked like a heavenly emperor had descended. His majesty was so powerful that no one could stop him. The old man kept retreating, obviously shocked. This is one of Nether Prison's entrances to the spirit world. An entrance. Yi Chen kept analyzing the information in his head. How many entrances are there in Nether Prison? This old man is only in charge of the 3,000 feet entrance to the Yellow Springs. As for where the other entrances are and how many there are, I do not know either. Really? Yi Chen's eyes turned cold. The old man was terrified and knelt on the ground. It's true, it's all true. Hell dog, let me tell you. If you dare lie to me, even if it means reaching the ends of hell, I will kill you. I don't dare, I don't dare. The old man knelt on the ground, not daring to raise his head. Nether Prison. Su Yuhan's face appeared in Yi Chen's head. He felt a pang in his heart. Fine, I'll spare your life. Look after this place for me. If anything happens, I'll make you pay. Yes, yes. Yi Chen turned around and flew up. On the ground, the Patriarch of Hell kept pacing. It had been a while since Yi Chen went down. During this time, he heard all sorts of strange vibrations below. He did not know what was happening and was rather anxious. Fellow Taoist Yi, fellow Taoist Yi. The Patriarch released his psionic energy and sent his voice over 1,000 miles. Patriarch. Just as the Patriarch was worrying, a voice came from below. It was Yi Chen. Ha ha ha, I knew that with fellow Ye's ability, any danger would be no problem. Buzz buzz buzz. At this moment, a stream of light flew up. It was Yi Chen. Fellow Yi, what's down there? Why did you go down for so long? 3,000 feet of the Netherworld. If it's 3,000 feet of the Netherworld, what's above us? The Netherworld Battle Mansion. 'Tis this. The Patriarch was a little confused, but he did not ask further. The two of them returned to the Netherworld Gate and were welcomed by everyone. Yi Chen understood that the Patriarch was holding a banquet. The Patriarch must be very interested in the situation below. Moreover, Yi Wushuang was also curious. Fellow Yi, tell us what you saw down there. The Patriarch said with a smile. All right, I'll tell you. Yi Chen told them about the various situations down there. The Patriarch and Yi Wushuang were amazed. I didn't expect the real 3,000 feet of the Netherworld to be under the Netherworld Battle Mansion. Moreover, it seems that Taoist North Ming's strength is due to this Hell Dog. Smart. This Hell Dog controls nether energy and can draw nether runes. Previously, I thought that Taoist North Ming used demonic runes, but now that I think about it, it should be nether energy disguised as demonic energy. Is this nether energy really so magical? That's right. There are many differences between the might of the netherworld purgatory and demonic energy, but nether energy is more mysterious and unpredictable. Fellow Yi, now that we've found the entrance to the netherworld purgatory, are you going to look for, naturally, the Patriarch knew who Yi Chen was concerned about. Patriarch, you should understand that I must find Yuhan. Otherwise, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Sai, I know you're an infatuated person. I'll definitely support you. The Patriarch raised his cup. Yi Chen nodded slightly and drank it in one gulp. Just as everyone was drinking, a loud bang suddenly came from outside the Netherworld Gate, shaking it. Yi Chen's gaze traveled 1,000 miles as he looked outside. He saw many powerhouses gathering in the sky. They did not seem to be targeting the Netherworld Gate, but the entire Netherworld Battle Mansion. Evil creatures of the Netherworld Battle Mansion, come out. The loud bang shook the area within 100 miles. Instantly, countless forces of the Netherworld Battle Mansion were alarmed. Who's so arrogant? You're courting death. Die. The powerhouses of the Netherworld Battle Mansion appeared one after another. They still did not know who dared to be arrogant in front of the Battle Mansion. Yi Chen, the Patriarch, and the rest also flew out. High up in the sky, a sword boat floated in the sky. Yi Chen glanced over and saw several powerhouses, all of them peak conjoint body cultivators. Who are you? How dare you cause trouble in the land of the Netherworld? As the representative of the Netherworld Battle Mansion, the Patriarch flew up and faced the newcomers. Ha ha ha, the Netherworld Battle Mansion is a place of thieves and thieves. It's a chaotic place. Today, I'll kill all of you and make a name for myself. Everyone was shocked when they heard that. Make a name for yourself? Ha ha, I think you should be buried here first. The patriarch laughed maniacally and shouted at the person in the sky. Ignorant, independent cultivator, how dare you oppose me? Die. The person attacked directly with a sword ray. Clang. Just when the sword ray was about to touch the patriarch, Yi Chen waved casually and the sword ray shattered. You're from the Ling Emperor Palace? Yi Chen asked. The Ling Emperor Palace? Ha ha ha, they're not qualified. Oh. Yi Chen's interest was piqued. In the spiritual realm, which force was more powerful than the Ling Emperor Palace? End of this chapter. Chapter 1946. Who are you? How dare you destroy my Acheron sect? The patriarch glared at the person in the sky and questioned. You don't even know the true spirit hall and you dare to stand in the spiritual realm? Damn it. The person in front swept his energy toward the patriarch. Underworld sword. The patriarch was furious. Sword energy shot out and the underworld sword gleam swept in all directions. However, the person in front of him used some kind of divine ability and withdrew his hands. The patriarch's sword energy dissipated in the air. This? The patriarch was shocked and frowned. Patriarch, you can't. At this moment, the Netherworld sect leader, the Netherworld Taoist, walked forward and said anxiously, What do you mean? The patriarch asked. These people are from the true spirit hall, which is the true ruler of the spiritual realm. Even the Ling Emperor Palace is under their control. What? The patriarch was shocked. No wonder these people were so arrogant. They had such information. The patriarch was also new to the things that happened after the patriarch's death. Naturally, he did not know about it. Patriarch Netherworld, kneel and submit now. Otherwise, your Netherworld sect will be destroyed. The person who came was high and mighty. He instantly knew the identity of the patriarch Netherworld. He must have come prepared. Yi Chen looked at the sky and pondered. These people might have come to subdue the Netherworld sect because that would be equivalent to subduing the entire Netherworld battle mansion. It was unknown if they had other goals. After all, a powerful force like the True Spirit Hall should not be interested in a place like the Netherworld battle mansion. How did the Netherworld battle mansion offend you? Why do you want me to submit? Your existence is a sin. Unless you have the permission of the True Spirit, no one has the right to live in the spiritual realm. You are so arrogant. Ha ha ha, that's right. What do you think? You. Seeing that the person before him was extremely arrogant and did not give him any leeway, the patriarch was furious. After all, he had followed Yi Chen for a long time. He still had some pride in him. He could not tolerate such humiliation. Kill. The patriarch moved and the sword energy rose again. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The person in the air with the Netherworld sword energy. Ha, small tricks. However, that person was not afraid at all. He retracted his hands once more and the old ancestors' sacred art disappeared. The two failures had placed the old ancestor in a predicament, and he had no idea how the young man before him had managed to do it. After all, the young man's cultivation was only at conjoint body realm consummation. While it wasn't too low, it was still a significant advantage over the old ancestor in terms of cultivation. However, just how in the world did the young man manage to dispel the sword chi so easily? Yi Chen's eyes were sharp as he observed the man's movements. I see. Soon, Yi Chen saw the truth. It was because of the magic weapon in that person's hand. Most people would not notice it, but Yi Chen did. There was a pair of jade slips between the man's hands. The patriarch's sword chi was absorbed by the jade slips. Ha ha, old ancestor Yellow Spring, you're just SOSO. That person began to mock the ancestor. This made the old ancestor furious. As someone who had undergone tribulation, It was a great humiliation for him to be unable to fight against someone at the body integration realm. Ancestor, this person has a trick. Why are you sighing? Fellow Yi, what do you mean by this? You will understand immediately. Yi Chen walked to the front and faced the expert. Ha ha, is it your turn? What's the difference? That person was high and mighty, mocking Yi Chen. In his opinion, Yi Chen's cultivation base was inferior to the old ancestor Yellow Spring, so he could easily kill him. Ant, you won by trickery. I'll show you your true colors. Yi Chen replied coldly. Ha ha, damn it. That person laughed a few times at first, then revealed a ferocious expression and shouted loudly. Yi Chen's figure flew up and soon sensed that there were more powerhouses hidden in the fog behind this person. Those people's cultivation base was far above this person's. It was obvious that this person was just a cover. Sword raging waves. Yi Chen waved his sword fingers and wild waves rose. Strong waves rushed toward that person. Withdraw. That person felt the powerful sword chi. Following the previous method, he retracted his hands, trying to eliminate Yi Chen's sword chi. Rumble. However, he had miscalculated this time because Yi Chen's sword chi was like a raging wave crashing against the shore. It was endless and contained the ancient god's life rule. That person kept absorbing the power of the sword chi, but the sword chi was so powerful, vigorous, and endless that the person gradually revealed a look of fear. It's impossible! He kept shouting. The sword chi kept entering his hands and was absorbed by the jade piece. However, as Yi Chen's sword chi continued to be produced, the vigorous power hit the jade piece, and the jade piece could no longer bear the weight. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Finally, the jade piece broke, and energy exploded. That person was the first to bear the brunt. Boom, boom, boom. The powerful sword chi not only contained Yi Chen's power, but also the Patriarch's two previous attacks. Protect. That person quickly activated the shield to escape, but the shield was instantly broken by Yi Chen's sword chi. Then, the Patriarch's underworld sword chi came for his life. Without the protection of the jade piece, the underworld sword chi was invincible. Swoosh, swoosh. Two sword rays slashed across. That person's eyes widened as if he could not believe it. However, his head rolled to the ground. Great, Senior Yi is mighty. Patriarch is mighty. Such a situation instantly stirred everyone's emotions. They all shouted Yi Chen's and the Patriarch's names. It's not over yet. Just when everyone was pleasantly surprised, Yi Chen's cold voice stunned them. Rumble. Before they could react, thunder rumbled in the sky, and the wind and clouds surged. Behind the wind and clouds, a group of people appeared. The aura of these people was clearly stronger than the previous people. Amidst the wind and clouds, a carriage appeared. No one knew who was sitting in the carriage, but the vigorous pressure made many people from the underworld sect kneel on the ground, and some even spit blood. Blood splattered, and the internal energy dissipated. Everyone was in danger. The Patriarch was shocked. He also felt his heart was in chaos. His meridians were rushing in the opposite direction, and he was in unbearable pain. Yi Chen had the ancient god body. It was difficult for any power to invade him, so he was not threatened. Who's there? Show yourself. He flew up and pointed his sword at the carriage. Yi Chen wanted the person to show himself. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Just when Yi Chen's sword chi was about to arrive, a strong light shot out from the carriage. Rumble. The light collided with Yi Chen's sword chi, and a loud bang shook 100 miles around. Very good. A voice came from the carriage. It was a woman's voice, cold and calm. Yi Chen's eyes were sharp as he looked at the carriage. He activated the golden pupil fiery eyes and saw through the carriage. He saw a beautiful woman sitting inside. You're Yi Chen. End of this chapter.